I thought I'd come here and I'd be like an instant, like everyone would be like, oh, kawaii, blonde girl. Just like, oh, you're so, do you want to be an internet, do you want to be an idol in Japan? Just take over the country.
Life really hits you like a truck.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Trash Taste Podcast. I am your host for today, Giguk, and with me are my usual co-host, the Boiis.
Hi.
You know who they are.
Yeah.
And with me, again, as I'm hosting, I have another guest. Wow.
Yay!
We have the beautiful Sydsnap, and I can say that.
Yeah.
But yes, do you want to introduce yourself, Sydney?
Hey guys.
It's Giggert's wife.
It's Giga's almost wife.
That's all you are. Right?
The strongest intro I've ever heard from any guest. Hey guys.
Hey guys. You didn't even say it's your girl.
I was about to.
Okay, go on. Say it.
Hey guys.
Okay, that's all you need to know.
You can tell she's a girl.
So you go by Sydsnap on YouTube.
No.
Yes.
Okay. Oh my god.
So do you want to explain to anyone who is unfamiliar with your content what you kind of do?
Okay, so I have a YouTube channel. I usually talk about some of the looter things on the anime sphere.
That's a nice way of putting it.
The most Christian way you've ever heard.
Wacky
A little on
things.
the non-Christian side.
Come over if you're feeling curious. Talk about eroge, manga, eye penetration.
And other beautiful stuff.
Just doing God's work.
I want to get right into it. What?
Let's just jump right into
Let's
it.
not beat around the bush.
Yeah.
I'm just excited to talk about this. Can you explain what the pussy of the round table is? Sydney? Right away, please. Just get it out. Just get it out. Just get it out of the way.
I've heard the name, but I'm yet to know its glory.
This horrific contraption.
No.
It looks
Tell
like
me.
a-
I want
it
Sydney
loo-
to tell me all
It
about
looks like a medieval torture
It
method.
does. Okay. So I saw this thing advertised online, and it was just like this giant fleshy. It's this fleshy giant roll of a bunch of pussies. And it's like
There's no other way to describe it. It's just like the
bunch
dough.
of, like,
And you put it for a video to clarify.
It's one of my videos where I'm just like sex products in Japan that are animally weird, and it's just like a bunch of pussies of like girls as
It's
they
like
grow
6,
older.
right? 6 of them around.
And you're supposed to like take it with the boys when you want to have a little party.
Trash taste special.
Just invite the boys over for let's have a nice little group fuck.
I remember you told me something about it that was like it's in order of age.
Yeah, one of them's like, because it's Japan, like their lollies.
Oh, okay,
It's like
okay.
elementary, middle school, high school, adult.
How far adult do we go?
They put like
Grandma.
Is that like a grandma puss at the end?
It's like one of them just sagging down.
Yeah.
And honestly, it does. Like,
Oh,
it starts
It's just like a gaping hole.
It actually is the
So that's a great first topic. I just wanted to talk about that.
Yeah.
'cause that
I
thing
never
is
thought
in my mind.
I never thought to myself, I need like an item for this circle jerk. You know, like, it's like something's missing from this circle jerk. Oh yeah, pussy of the round table.
The thing is, like, we've always known about Japan. Japan has like some weird ass
Everyone
toys.
knows. Everyone
right?
knows.
Everyone knows. But like having moved here and really like living with Sydney and seeing some of the shit she has to buy for her channel, it's just like I thought.
buy.
She doesn't
Yeah.
have to.
Gunpoint.
Buy
Like-
the pussy of the round table.
Like I thought my faith in humanity couldn't get lower, and then next week it just like lowers every single week. Because I remember this one time we were in this like doujinshi shop, and she was like looking for weird things to buy, and then we just see this brain, right? And I'm just like, why are they selling a brain? There's no reason why a shop should be selling a
Never
brain.
need a brain. You
And
never need a
then we pick up the box and we turn it over, and it's just like this brain that you can fucking like stick your dick in. So it's a literal fleshlight that's shaped like a brain.
Well, some people want a brain fuck, you know, like some people want a literal brain fuck.
so heavy.
What worries me about the round table of the object is that normally if I wanted to fuck a brain, I'd probably do that in private. I'm probably going to keep that to myself.
Yeah.
I'd probably not. But there's someone out there who is 6 homies who's like, boys, I've got it. And then they're all equally fucked up, and they've all told each
I'm
other.
just trying to think, like, how would you even position yourself?
There's actually a diagram
Yeah,
that comes with the box of like so like there's an anal hole like right at the bottom one as well. It's
Right.
like imagine this like huge Play-Doh of like with 6 pussies on this
It
Play-Doh.
looks like a bar stool, right?
Yeah,
But
it looks like a
the
bar stool,
Oh,
and then
okay.
there's a hole at the bottom. So how it goes is that there's a guy at the bottom, and you put it on a dick, and then like 6 other dicks can be fucking this pussy hole as it's just on this guy.
How is this episode already more lewd than the Shibuya Kaho episode?
Your parents are gonna be watching this.
So I want to know, how do you go from normal human being functioning in society to reviewing the pussy of the round table on YouTube?
Are you
What's the
asking
origin story
Or
of
my
that?
origin
How do you get into that? Because
Yeah.
I know
happened?
that I know that you
What went
obviously
wrong?
voice acting online because we're in
Yeah.
like the same community. But how did it like go from? How did you get into voice acting and then go into that kind of side of YouTube?
Are you asking how? So like,
Everything.
The
everything.
beginning of my
Yeah,
life.
We
Yeah.
gotta introduce you to our guests.
Yeah.
All right. Well, where I guess like so I started out on YouTube when YouTube just began. I was about 12, 13, and I was a big anime nerd. I was that girl, just like call me Yumiko Kawagawa in high school. And I was like, what's the best way to be the most closest to an anime girl that you can? And I was just like, maybe being her voice. So I tried doing voice acting, and then I grew up and I stopped doing fan dubs and a bridge series.
Because you were pretty big in the like abridging scene
Yes.
back in the day, weren't you?
Yeah.
I remember because back when abridging was like at its prime, you had like Team 4-Star, and then you had a lot of other people were trying to emulate what Team 4-Star were doing.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where people started realizing, hey, if we use female voice actresses, we could make our abridged series look legit, because most abridged series were just
All
like
dudes.
Yeah, all dudes. And like yeah, it would just be like the dudes playing the girl characters doing their like best falsetto or whatever it's
Yeah.
called. So if you had a female voice actor, that meant your abridged series was like legit.
Oh,
But
they have a budget.
the problem is that there weren't many female voice actresses in the community. So I remember like how I discovered Sydney was she was like one of the 5 female voice actresses who was just like in everything.
Right.
So that's how I discovered you. Like, how was it back in the day for you being like voicing in so many different abridged series and so many different parodies?
Because you were like
and stuff?
first generation, like online
was,
voice acting.
Yeah, I started when I was like 14.
Oh my God.
I mean, back then, obviously, I was kind of like around when the boom of it kind of began. Obviously, when people were just like, "Shit, girls want a voice in our fucking terrible parodies." And so I get a lot of offers every day because there's not many girls who have like microphones.
Yeah.
Like, look at
Oh,
me,
I
I'm
guess
hot
me and
shit.
my Blue Yeti could voice in your project if we have to.
So it was like, I felt like hot shit. Like,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like female voice actors were a wanted commodity.
yeah,
You were like,
it's just like, whoa. So it was pretty fun. I felt like a celebrity. Like, what? You don't know who I am? I'm in every abridged series.
You go to like Walmart, you're like, oh God, they're looking at me. Oh, Jesus,
Oh God,
this is
they're
awkward.
staring at me because they probably know who I am. They're just too nervous to come up and ask.
Oh my God.
I forgot my fame sunglass.
Oh God, they know I was in that 4th Pokemon bridge. Oh Jesus.
so I got to ask, like, were there a lot of projects that you were in that you're maybe not so proud of now, like looking back at?
I think you can
like,
say
without naming, you can without naming.
That's how
specifics.
you know someone's a good voice actor. If they're like, yeah, man, I love everything I've been in. I'm like, oh, you're
That's
shit.
bullshit.
That means you don't recognize how bad some of the shit was.
Yeah, no, definitely there are probably I'd say about like a good like 70%.
70%
Maybe
of
Sounds
the
like a voice actor. Yeah.
Maybe I'd say even close to 90 because very rarely, and this is gonna sound terrible, but like when I was in the parodies, I only laughed. I'd say very like 1 or 2, 3. None of them were funny. I'm sorry.
oh my god! every abridger whose voice with Sydney is just like, maybe I'm the 10%.
Just like
Maybe
sweat,
I'm
just like-
I'm the 10%. I could be the 10%.
Funny, right?
Were you ever like cast in a? Because if you were one of the 5 female, did you ever get like cast in a project and then you're like, cool, this is good, and then you hear the other voice actors and you're like, how do I get out of this? How do I back the fuck
Of
out?
course, because like back then it's just like they'd be like, "Oh, you're a girl," even though you're using your like laptop mic.
Yeah.
It's like, I've never acted before, but it's just like, of course. But sometimes like I'm unfortunately one of those people that's like, once I kind of offer something, it's really hard for me to say like, I'm just not gonna do it. It's like
yeah.
it's really hard to say no. So most of the time, I just
I'm like, I'm going to do the lines, but I'm not going to do it with
Well,
enthusiasm.
Like,
Yeah.
I feel like that's just the best way to practice. From what I've heard, it's
Yeah,
like,
oh,
I mean,
definitely.
I'd say with a lot of things, you just got to do it, even
Yeah.
if you you're gonna suck for the longest time, and then
Yeah.
you eventually learn how to do it.
Just audition. Just never stop auditioning,
Yeah.
and then you'll
Yeah.
get better.
That was like
Yeah.
definitely how it was back then. It's like even if it was all shit, it's practice.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so how did you So when did you ever stop voice acting, or is it something you just kind of lost interest in?
It kind of plays into how we met, isn't it? Like, because we met from his Abridged series, Ava Abridged, in case you guys couldn't guess.
Oh my god! Here we go.
Almost married. But once we started dating, I actually moved. Like after we started, like I moved to England and I started going to school in England. And I think from that point, I stopped voice acting for a good few years. But then I came back because I was just like, you said like you think I should try and do YouTube, and I'm like, I don't know, voice acting's not in the same community, and you're like, maybe don't do voice acting, and I'm like, what? And then I started doing manga videos because I really like manga,
Right.
and I started noticing like people tended to prefer when I talked about some of the looter titles. Like it started off with like J.K. Haru is a sex worker, and to like. Naval sex.
It's a bit of a jump.
Okay.
It's a bit of a jump.
Of course.
No, I think the big transition was when you did your video on Euphoria.
Yeah,
Oh,
Right.
I feel like God has all the answers to these questions. He's like, no, Sydney, that's not how it happened. I was there.
Yeah, he was though. He was like the
God's
one
like human fact checker on set.
Yeah. He was the one who like actually I definitely wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Garn. He like helped pave the way, kind of told me what these like, hey, this is like might be a good thing, and I'm like, I don't know. And anytime I needed advice, he was there.
Yeah, because I remember when I saw some of your thumbnails, I'm like, that's not the level of clickbait from someone who's been doing this for 4 months. And I was like, God, did you make the thumbnails? Like, yeah, I did. And I'm like, I knew it was too good clickbait.
She had a private coach,
Yeah.
like
Definitely you were my
Yeah.
private. But definitely I think I started getting more traction when I started talking about, because I'm not gonna lie, I like to play a good eroge. I like a little
as anyone
spice.
does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
We all know this
Anybody
man
of
lived
culture.
off them
Yeah.
when he was 13.
Yeah.
And then just played a little Euphoria, and
Just play
Okay,
a little
let's
bit.
See, because like I'm into erogaze, but I never had the balls to try before.
Okay.
Euphoria was so. Garn was like, oh, Euphoria.
Can I tell the story? Okay, actually,
Put the
yeah.
mic
Let's
close to your
put them like
face.
in your
It's triggering me.
face.
I'm like, it's not in your mouth.
Voice actor
Like,
doesn't
this
know.
is-
Put the
So
microphone in
okay,
the face.
how did you first find out about Euphoria?
I heard somebody talk about it, but I didn't really like. They didn't say anything bad about it. They just said, oh, it's like kind of like a death game, and I really like horror. I like death games.
I have no idea what this is, by the way. I just know there's a lot of poop.
Oh, okay. We'll get into that.
Spoiler,
Oh, yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah. So
Spoilers.
one day, Sydney's just like messing about on her computer, and she just casually asked me, "Hey, Gon, have you heard of this anime hentai called Euphoria?" And I'm like, "Yeah, why?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm thinking about playing it." I'm like, "Oh, okay. That's a pretty infamous game." And she keeps asking me why. Why is it infamous? What's so infamous about this game?
It sounds like the same energy as your mum coming in, like, God, what is Bang Bros? What is that?
Why do I have a subscription to Pornhub in my mail? Like,
yeah.
What is X Hamster Gone?
Yeah.
Can you explain?
do you like hamsters that much?
And so I just go, you know what, Sydney? Why not just download it and play it? And
Why would you say that?
And see what happens,
It
because
was already downloaded.
And you
like,
love this woman?
no, it's resulted in probably one of my favorite Twitter threads online, because I told her to document her experience with it, and so she has this Twitter thread of her fresh experience with Euphoria, which we can probably pull up.
Because I was so certain that you were overreacting, if I'm honest. Like, I was so certain. Like, I've seen my fair share of eroge. I know. I've played Bible Black, okay? And, like, I'm like, oh, is somebody just gonna, like, accidentally puke or something? And everyone's just like, this is disgusting.
Oh, the moment I saw that Twitter thread being started, I was like, oh, this is gonna be
I was
so good.
I was like,
It's gonna be so good.
It was one of the few Twitter threads where you can literally grab the popcorn and just scroll down, because
There has never been a more well-documented like journey of someone losing their mind. Like,
Mom and Dad.
because I think it was never the same after you played Euphoria and you
No.
released that Euphoria video. I think that was like your first really dive into full
Yeah,
degeneracy.
of course I played like eroge. Like sometimes like some weird.
Do you want
things
to explain what Euphoria is to someone like Connor and people who
I
don't
have
know?
no idea what Euphoria is.
Okay.
I just know there's poop and eating it.
Oh, I wish it was just.
Yeah, I wish we could say that's the worst.
Can we do a
part.
YouTube-friendly version so we don't get completely destroyed?
Okay, so burp. Oh, that was pukey. But
Which also appears in Euphoria.
I think essentially everything gross that you can even think of on the top of your head in the next 3 seconds, it's in Euphoria. So Euphoria is a kind of game where.
Sorry, carry on.
So Euphoria is a game where this one guy who suddenly starts to realize he's a sadistic motherfucker who enjoys like girls' pains is stuck in a room with like 7 other girls, and they give him like acts that he has to do, otherwise somebody dies and gets killed.
Basically, like Saw.
Yeah, essentially, but like eating shit. And so like they have essentially every weird tag. They have like diaper wearing and shitting, and you have to eat the shit out of the diaper. They have like.
This is a furry convention. Jesus Christ! Oh my God!
Taking youthing to another level.
My God, dude. This sounds too much for YouTube, but I think I get the picture of how
they just
disgusting
have
this.
a lot here.
And so that defined your YouTube career.
Unfortunately.
So you watched that or you experienced it. You're like, this is it. This is my
This is
magnum
the
opus.
This is my peak.
This is what we're going to follow.
To be fair, like I made a video because I'm like, I thought nobody else knew that Euphoria was this bad. They thought that what I did. I thought everybody else thought it was like a death game, and I'm like, I'm warning you guys. And too little did I know, I'm the fucking dumb fuck over here. So
Well, I mean, someone had to experience it, right?
Yeah.
I'm just taking the L for everybody. That's
Like
my career.
one thing I'm sure a lot of people have been curious about is obviously like you're a female who's like very into hentai.
Am I?
But like, how did you get into hentai originally? Like, what opens the gate for you, and what made it appealing to you? To like,
Because the general consensus is females don't read hentai.
yeah, exactly, right?
That's just
they don't watch
bullshit. That's bullshit. But I guess like it's just, I'll have to start from the beginning then.
Yep.
It's just more of like, in case you guys didn't know, I was born and raised in a small village in Wisconsin near Milwaukee, and wouldn't you think it, they're pretty conservative. So I didn't have a sex education, and I got all of my sex education from hentai.
This is going like the good Christian girl route now.
Yeah. Like I had no idea that like jizz was like looked like anything. Like I didn't know like stuff came out until I was about like 17. I was 17 when I learned that jizz existed.
Oh my God!
Oh my
Yeah,
God!
I didn't even know what like
That's
a penis
fucked that
looked
they don't
like.
teach you that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. Our sex education was more of like stay abstinent.
Yeah,
Don't do it.
yeah, I've seen a bunch of those where it's like you
Yeah.
can either teach sex education or tell them to not fuck and not do any of
Yeah.
that.
Essentially, we had a sex ed, but it wasn't sex ed. It was more of like, but so I actually learned. I didn't know that hentai really existed until it was actually very similar to Garn's story, where I like found a random link to Bible Black. And I downloaded it, and then I saw just like a girl like growing a dick, and I'm like, can girls do that?
You wouldn't know. You weren't sex educated.
no idea.
How would you know?
Google search, how do I grow a penis?
Like guys can jizz, can girls grow dicks? Is that just a thing that my parents have just not taught me?
Essentially. But so I think from there, just my interest grew because I was just like, well, this is the only sex
Like your
education
penis.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
like your
get.
penis.
Yeah.
I think like my giant dick. So then I just kind of dived in, and actually some of it had good stories, and it wasn't just fucking. And then just life changed from there.
So what is like some early hentai that you actually like properly enjoyed? Because as like a teenager, I'm sure most guys, we had one purpose of why we like got into hentai. We didn't really care about the plot that much.
I
but-
still don't care about the plot.
Yeah, he still doesn't. But someone from your perspective, I feel would have something different.
Well, definitely when I first started like watching hentai and eroge, was just to get like, just kind of like what is this warm feeling in my pants? But then, I started like my first real eroge that I liked was Yume Miru Kusuri. And it was just like about depression and just like, and this guy's just having sex with these depressed girls, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm having feels while my pants are warm.
Oh my God!
This is not going to
I'm
be
sorry.
monetized. No way.
We're sorry, YouTube.
I'm sorry, I hope
We have
neither,
sponsors on this episode.
I hope neither of our parents watched it.
Oh my god.
But
There's like a million other ways you could have phrased that. You didn't have to say warm feeling in my pants. It's like that's like the worst way you could have put it. Oh my god.
cold talk. So yeah, essentially, Yumi Mira Kisuri was the first one, and then obviously Katawa Shoujo. You know, I was like.
Ones with good stories.
Good with stories. And then I kind of started going for like the generally like, hey, this isn't just sex. This has a good plot. You know, kind of like one of those porns like you see. And it's like somehow one of those lines just sticks with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen an actual porn where I'm like, damn, this story's good.
Well, I mean, the only like quotable porns are
that's
like
amazing,
the really
yeah.
like horrible ones.
Yeah.
You didn't get my cereal?
I think she wants me to suck my dick.
Wait, I gotta ask Connor, have you ever watched like a hentai and just watched the entire runtime? No skipping.
No.
No skipping, just watch an entire
Sometimes.
episode without skipping or hitting that
Sometimes,
buffer button.
I'll look at the watch and I'll be like, I got 10 minutes, I can watch the intro. You know, I got time, I can watch the intro, and then I'm normally just disappointed and like, I wish I just didn't know your personality. And like the characters normally I like regret that I learned.
Well, that
more
just means
about
you haven't
them.
seen the good ones yet.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I've seen some good ones.
Like,
I mean, I
Well,
don't
what
want
is like-
to
what is- what is like the-
out myself, right? Yeah, we're
what is
gonna
like the peak of like?
we got to save it for the hentai episode.
Oh, yeah, true,
I
true,
don't
true.
want to, because we want to do that.
Yeah,
You want to
yeah,
do
yeah.
like a hentai tier
We
list,
judge each other's favorite hentai, so I'm going to save it. You know, got to keep some aces in there.
Well, then while Sydney's here, then what is yours? Like, what would you say is like the absolute peak of like, yes, this is the best one I've seen?
Yeah.
To be fair, I don't watch a lot of like animated hentai because you know once you've seen one, honestly, you kind of seen them all. Like it all looks the same.
they're all based
terribly.
off the dojins, though.
Yeah.
No, but not.
Well, a lot of them are based off erogays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like even if they were based off the dojins, it was like like hentai manga. It was just like kind of like it doesn't keep the good shit. You know, it's not as beautiful.
It doesn't keep the plot.
It doesn't keep the plot, and even the sex scenes that they copy that are like hot in the dojins aren't hot in anime form.
Yeah, I don't know, like especially some dojins, especially if they're animated by Queen Bee.
Oh my God.
I
We
don't
do not talk about Queen
I
Bee
don't know
here.
how Queen Bee can take some of the like best dojins, like S tier dojins,
yeah.
and make it seem like worsely animated than the fucking manga itself.
There have been so many where I'm into the idea of the story, I'm watching the cutscenes, and then I forget I'm still watching Queen Bee, and then the two PNGs start rubbing against each other, and I'm like, oh.
Some Queen Bee stuff I've seen is like they must have animated this on like PowerPoint.
Yeah.
Like, there's no animation.
Because the worst thing about Queen Bee is that they're like the posters. They look
it's a hentai
so
studio, by
good.
the way.
Yeah, Queen Bee is a hentai studio, quite infamous if you watch enough hentai for just having the worst animation you can imagine for a hentai.
If you've watched the hentai and you thought, wow, this looks awfully shit, it's probably
probably
Queen Bee.
Queen Bee,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
probably Queen Bee.
We're not gonna get that sponsor from Queen Bee.
I don't want to be sponsored by Queen Bee.
That's a badge of disrespect.
I think Queen Bee was one of the first studios that forced me to like research hentai studios, right? Because normally like hentai animation
All look
isn't
the same. It all
hentai
looks-
animation isn't the greatest,
Yeah.
but it's passable. But Queen Bee was so bad that it forced me to have to Google search why does these certain hentais look this bad? Oh, okay, it's because it's because the same studios are animating it. But yeah, going back to you, so what are some hentais you would like properly recommend? Not anime then. We're gonna put you on the spot.
Or eroge or
Yeah,
Are we gonna fucking go down there? Okay, so
yeah, we're gonna go down the rabbit.
Okay.
We've already like
We've already gone down.
We've already fallen down.
So
I
get close to the microphone. You're really far away. I can see on the audio.
Fuck. Okay,
Like that.
God.
Like that. Yeah.
Okay.
This episode is sponsored by Bandai Spirits.
And today they brought us the upcoming That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime BANPRESTO box.
This is a hefty boy.
There's a big
That's a big thick. That's a thick boy. That is. Ooh, baby. What's in the box, Connor? What's in the box? What's
Open the box! What's in the box?
What's in the box?
I'm glad you asked what's in the box, Gone, because I don't know yet. So should we find out what's in the box together?
What's in the box?
God, stop. What's in the box?
What's in the box? Oh, ooh.
Ooh.
Look at this little thing.
Is it a Rimuru?
It's a
What?
Rimuru.
Rimuru? I did
little
not pronounce that
plushie.
correctly.
Rimuru.
Oh, this feels so good.
Let me feel that.
It's actually like really soft.
Oh, okay. Okay, very nice.
Oh,
So this is the
comfy.
Rimuru large plush. It's 20 centimeters or 7.9 inches, and it feels great in your hand. You can put it on your head. You can put it on your shoulder. You can put it anywhere.
Look at this. This is like. How can you feel stressed holding this? You know what I mean?
And there's also this. What is this, Jerry?
Oh, that is the mascot plush special color version, which is another exclusive item for this BANPRESTO box.
It's got a little keychain as well, so you can clip it onto something.
It is a keychain.
Oh, look at this beauty. I just got to shit out this beauty. Look at that. Oh my god.
Oh, that looks similar to the one that we have.
Rimuru is looking clean as hell,
Except
man.
this one is the EXQ figure special color version, and this also is an exclusive item to
Dude,
the
that
BANPRESTO
base
box.
is so cool.
That
with
is really cool.
The colors. But wait, there's more. We're not done here. There is 2 keychains I'm seeing in here. Am I reading this right? Yeah, there's 2
Yeah,
keychains.
there's 2 keychains right here. 2 rubber keychains.
We have a rubber keychain of a cool-looking Rimuru and slime together, and another keychain with Rimuru with Shizu's mask.
Oh yeah, that is Shizu's mask.
Yeah, I totally didn't see that
Yeah,
first.
that's cool.
Ooh, and there's one more item in here, gentlemen.
Ooh,
That's actually really cute. That's actually
That's super cute.
That's so cute.
I like how it like flushes. On
Yeah.
the top.
Yeah.
That's so
It's
nice.
got like
Wow.
the round shape of the slime. Yeah, but that's exclusive.
from me, Joey.
Yeah, it's a cute little slime mug right here. Yeah, oh, I like this shape actually.
And the value of all of this is $60 USD. But the best part is, gentlemen, it's only $29.99.
Only
$29.99.
$29.99?
That's half price.
I know. It's insane.
$29.99.
I'm very excited about this deal.
Can't believe it.
So some of these products can only be sold in Japan, so you can't get it in North America at all.
So if you want to get your hands on this special box, go to Premium Bandai USA or click the link in the description below. And this box is only available until November 24th, 2020. So get your hands on it quick.
Again, thank you very much to Bandai Spirits for sponsoring us today. Back to the video.
Well, obviously, if we're gonna go down this route, I honestly prefer, if I'm going to be reading hentai, or like hentai doujins or hentai manga, like I guess.
What's your go-to tag?
Depends
Eye penetration?
On the day. Yes. Oh, definitely.
Naval penetration.
It depends on the day. Sometimes I'm looking for like virginity. Sometimes
Sometimes I'm feeling just a bit pure, you know, like
I
something
want to
wholesome.
feel like wholesome. Like I'm gonna give myself, and then sometimes I'm just like. What's the most
skull fucking? Skull fucking. Only
right
skull
now?
fucking.
I want to see those jizz come out of those ears.
I want a position of power being abused.
Through the eye socket.
But yeah, do you have any like specific titles that you would recommend to
Obviously,
people?
anything by Pochi, which is a hentai manga artist, and she's also having an anime being released. It was
wow.
delayed. What?
Yeah, it was supposed to come out last season. I think?
Yeah. She obviously at the anime getting animated for it. isn't
She's
gonna be-
the artist who did the art for the MILF Isekai,
Yep.
if I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
yeah.
And the elder sister Dojinshi.
And
No,
another
that's what's
manga.
getting animated. That's
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
getting
getting
animated.
But it's not going to be the hentai version of that. It's going to be the more.
Yeah,
It's
so
like the Tan Girl.
No.
No,
it's,
no. You're talking about Nanashi, who did Nagatoro. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I see on Twitter all the time.
Yeah,
huh?
Nanashi is also a hentai artist.
I see a lot of that porn.
But if I'm completely honest, I always like to go to series that are like of characters that are like in the games I'm playing. Like I like playing like Harvest Moon and Rune Factory, and sometimes I like to see the characters I get to marry have sex with my character.
well, I guess that's just like the appeal of Dojinshis, right?
I've never played a video game and thought, man, fuck, I just want to see Sephiroth just take a huge
Are you
dick.
kidding? You're lying. You're lying.
You look that shit up. There's probably thousands.
Oh,
of them.
dog.
I don't know because
Sephiroth getting
do,
kicked
do,
down.
do you guys remember the very first Dojinshi that you ever read or like
never read a Dojinshi.
You've never read a Dojinshi?
Never read
What?
it.
Never read a
This guy,
Dojinshi?
no, okay, Connor's told me that he can't get off to drawn porn.
No. What? It's like a fucking just. I had to have more chance like fucking masturbating to like money, like the queen on the fucking like. It's doing the same thing for me. Like you know what I mean? Like I need some fucking movement going on.
So do you need? Is it the movement? Is it
Like,
the
you're
noise?
literally masturbating the same way they did in like 1800s when the camera was
Okay,
first
but, like,
invented.
did you-
They're like, oh god, my wife that I haven't seen in 40 years because I went to the war. Oh, I'm gonna bust one out in the
okay,
trenches.
but did you never like look at like the fucking Playboy magazines and think like, damn, that's hot?
Yeah, I did, but then I realized like moving porn was also an option, and then how can you go back?
That's like literally saying
It's like the episode of South Park where like they lose internet and then they take turns on like the PC masturbating to porn.
I guess it's. I guess it's because for me, like I remember the very first time I discovered doujinshis were a thing, where you'd watch these anime and you'd be like, this anime girl's like kind of hot. But of course, because it's an officially licensed product, you don't get to see any porn of that.
See, I've never felt that way about anime. I've never seen an anime and been like, man, I want to see these characters get fucked.
What the fuck? Is wrong
Really?
No.
Not even as like a kid. But have you never had like a childhood crush
On an anime
on like
kid,
a girl or like
yeah,
an anime?
I have, but I've never like wanted to like, because to me it feels like, I don't know, this is weird, but like I like it when my like porn is separated from the stuff I enjoy. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
I
want
get
it
that.
completely isolated. Like,
I get that.
So I can cut that shit off and nothing in my life changes, right? Like, what's that? Like, no nut challenge where you start levitating after a month?
Yeah.
Like, if I want to cut that shit out, it's not going to affect, like, if I'm looking at Mikasa porn every week and then I'm going to be watching Attack on Titan, I'm going to be like, damn, I've seen her get dick down. You know what I mean? Like,
I get that though, because like I don't read doujins of series that I like.
Right, because you want to like separate.
Really?
I read doujins of series I actually don't like.
But like the characters are hot and you don't like them? Like,
Yeah,
kind of
because
thing?
like
Right, right.
because I don't care, because
I get that.
the characters are good looking, but I don't care enough about their personality to see them get dick down.
Yeah, I would never want to read
You know what I mean?
hentai hentai from a show that I like enjoy.
I don't know.
I kind of get that.
So like my favorite.
am I the weird one here?
No. There's a lot of people who are like, I love this character, therefore I want to see them get
I
dick
get
down.
it, but I don't follow it.
Okay.
Right.
I'm gonna watch
Like,
my
no,
girl
because
get
that's
dick
why like
down.
that's why like I fucking love like Sword Art Online or emo like Love Live hentai because like I don't care because I don't care about these characters enough but they're all good looking characters. So I'm like, all right, that's cool.
When
I'm
you
down
like
with
watch
that.
a porno, I don't want to be personally invested in their lives. I'm watching a porno. I'll watch it and be done with
No,
it.
I want like being personally invested.
That's part
This
of
is gonna
the
sound.
setting is.
This is gonna sound so fucking
That's
incel
part
right
of
now.
how hot
but
it is.
but
I'm
being
glad that your relationship
being
is going
invested in porn, being invested in porn just like elevates it to like newer heights. That's why I like porn.
I don't know about
That's
it.
why I like
end-
plot with my porn.
But at the end of the day, I feel like you're putting up more barriers for like entry to have a good just wank at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
But that wank is worth it though. It's like the best one you're gonna get.
No, because if I watch a doujin or I read a doujin of a character that I really like or a series I really like,
Yeah.
the next time I have anything to do with that
Yeah,
series,
you're gonna-
in the back of my mind,
gonna
I'm
be
just
thinking
like,
about it, yeah.
I'm thinking about it, and it completely puts me out of the experience.
Oh, what? That
And
must be in the experience.
how also is there like, why do you want to put work on yourself by reading and having to imagine the rest? You know what I mean?
Because
Like-
But you don't have to
because
imagine the rest. It's drawn out
no,
for
but
you.
it's not
like you're
every single
asking
like little frame in
why
your
to
mind
put-
is not
That just
playing
means you've
out.
read shit doujins.
yeah.
I know. I've never read any.
I don't know. Like, that's what I'm saying. Is all sex the same to you?
Well, okay, why do you? Okay, this is getting way too deep. Why
Listen,
do you?
I don't
why
really
do you
want-
wank, Gaunt? Why do you masturbate?
What the
I
same
just-
the
half the
same
time-
reason
half-
why anyone does the
Half
act
the time,
right?
I am 90% of the time. I just do it because I got nothing better going on. I'll be honest with you. I got like 10 minutes to kill. I don't want to do the task that I've set myself. Like I got to make this thumbnail. I don't want to do it. Well, I guess.
Most people,
So you
know,
just do
like-
it to waste time.
Yeah.
Most people, like read a book or clean their room. They got nothing to do.
Connor's like, whatever. I got 5 minutes. I got 5 minutes free. Why not? Want to have a quick like danger wank or
My
whatever?
hand's free right now.
But no, like it's like most people, the act of doing it is physically pleasurable.
For me, I just feel like
Experience,
it
right?
cleans my mind. I don't know. I feel like it's like a reset on like a save. It's like you've gone to the Pokemon.
You're talking like a fucking monk now for some reason. You're like,
I get it, though.
I feel clean.
You
I
go
feel
into that room,
cleansed.
you go in your bedroom, you know, you feel it's midday, you feel dirty that you're gonna like do it, and then you're like, all right, and then you do it, then you come out like levitating,
Yeah,
like I'm
it's like
ready.
hard resetting a console.
I'm ready
you know?
for a day. Yeah, yeah, it's
It's like I could just like reset the game like in the game, or I could turn off the console and turn
like,
it back on
You've
again.
got like 20 Chrome tabs open. The shit's really slow. You're like, fuck it, I'll just restart the PC. Like that's what it's like.
Yeah, I
Why
mean,
don't you just close the tabs?
Sometimes it's so laggy, you know, and you're just like, fuck, I'll restart it.
I would have to ask. So, like, you've never really cared about
No.
you never
No,
cared about
I know
it.
where you're going. No.
Yeah. Well, that's why I guess I would understand because I felt exactly the same. And then I remember the first time I read a doujinshi about characters, not characters I cared about, but I guess characters I was like invested in, maybe like getting together. Because okay, I'm guessing neither of you or neither of anyone here went through like the fan fiction phase?
No.
Not really.
I have.
Have you?
I went through the Harvest Moon fanfiction.
What, you and the other 3 people out there?
because there would be times when I would like be watching an anime and I'd be like, man, I really want this couple to get together. I'd be really. I'm showing I'm showing a new side of my degeneracy.
The subreddit's never going to let this go, by the way.
But yeah, I remember the first time was during like harem anime and harem manga, where there would be this obviously there would be a winning girl, and I'd be like, but what would happen if the other girl won?
Okay.
What would happen if the other girl won?
Okay, I have to agree with that.
Do you not feel like you're like wasting time?
Why? Why?
Because I've had that exact thing where it's like when I was like in like teenage years, I was like heavily invested in like To Lover, and I fucking loved that. Right? But like at the time I was reading it, there wasn't like a clear winner, but there were lots of potential winners. So I'm like, I want to know.
I just want
the what if of like if he got with this girl, what would it be like?
Because what got me into the Jinchis is that there are so many anime with like this romantic subplot that goes fucking nowhere, right? And I just want to see the ending of that subplot, the hypothetical ending of that subplot.
I understand the show not being satisfying, but to me, it's like I wouldn't want a story by an author to them just be someone's like, I got it from here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, to me, that's weird. Like, that's just why I've never been able to like get my head around fan fiction. Why would you want someone else to write the story that like someone else would only really know?
Because if you can't get the satisfaction from the official products, like, you just have to search that out somewhere else. It's not like
I'm just like fine with it not having that satisfaction.
I don't want to be bothered to imagine it myself. Therefore, I don't even read something.
Like for example, if there was say. I'm gonna bring it up again, but if there was like domestic girlfriends doujinshis, I don't need that shit because they fucking fuck in like the actual series. So like, why would I need that fan fiction?
I've never watched an anime and been like, damn, I really need to know what would happen based on a third party's opinion of what could happen if X person got. You know what I mean? That sounds weird to me. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Does it not?
No,
am I a crazy guy here?
I think we're both the crazy ones here. Yeah. We're both on like two ends of the extreme. Where sometimes it's like an itch that I can't scratch. Yeah. Where like if there's a series where I know I'm never gonna see these people get together, or this author's never gonna finish it the way that I would like to finish it, that my girl that I want to win is not gonna win, then I'm gonna search out the best way possible of how to itch that scratch. And it's not just the Jinchis, like scratch that sorry, that scratch. Itch that scratch. Scratch that itch.
I kind of relate it a little bit. I remember when I watched Code Geass for the first time, I was like, why didn't Lelouch ever like fuck C2? What's up? Like, why
exactly.
So therefore you go out and you seek it.
And there are fucking doujinshis that definitely do that. And
no, I bet there was. I just didn't care enough.
Because
I wanted him to do it because I'm like, homie.
Just fuck her.
You're taking over the world. Let a little stress out. Let your hair down. Order some pizza and kick back. Here's
the thing, right? Here's the thing. I can't read a doujinshi for like every series. There are certain series that I think are fucking made for doujinshis, and then I see like One Piece doujinshis, and I'm like, why would anyone want to get off with this? That doesn't seem very.
That's weird. Let me pick up the Eromanga.
That doesn't seem very nakama of these guys.
The Eromanga Sensei one makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Because there's so much sexual tension around.
I didn't watch it. I was just saying names.
And I didn't care about Eromanga Sensei, but the doujins are fucking lit.
I don't know. I can't get my head around it. Maybe someday I will, but like
I feel like you just need to see the good ones.
You just need to grow a bit.
I actually remember
this whole podcast is Connor. You just need to try the good thing of X.
Once you find the perfect tag, that's it. It's game over. You're game over.
Yeah,
this is why I don't get into any more gachas. I just feel like I'm going to lose more time, and I don't want to waste any more time.
Well, you're using that time to jack off anyway, so it's like
I spend 10 minutes max jacking off.
Yeah, well, you can spend that 10 minutes reading a doujin.
No, that's too much time. Then because you've got to go through, find one that you want, and I bet you probably have that thing as well where it's like Netflix where you're like, fuck, which one do I want?
Okay. Here's the thing. Most of the time when I discover a good hentai, it's by complete accident.
How are you finding this?
Because like normally I'm just like skip, and I'm like
skip on what?
Huh?
Oh, on
on a random button.
On like the random page, or like I find like just a doujin
I just
cover.
click anyone and I see what happens.
And sometimes I like give it like 5 minutes if it's like a anime, but if it's like I'm less likely to give it a chance if it's an anime, because with like doujinshis, you can read way faster. You know, it's like when on YouTube you hear that 1.5 speed button when you're just like, I want to see what happens, but I can't be bothered to like hear everything at this exact pace.
Do you ever just like you just can't find a good one, so you just like fuck it, I'll just get off to one of them. I'll just fucking do it because like this is taking too long.
No, because I know how to find the good ones.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, but sometimes it comes by complete accident where I start reading. I'm like, man, this has got some character development on it. Like maybe I'll give it a.
Like, let's go with his dick for a second. Hold on. There's some character development here.
Okay. Like
Put the penis down, Tom.
if there's like 10 pages. If the 10 first pages go by and there's no fucking, you know the author has given thought into the story of this doujin, man. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, Joe. You know what I'm talking about. Don't pretend like you don't.
I unfortunately do, yes.
Honestly.
That's always the big tell. When it doesn't start off by just fucking straight away, then you know there's a chance that
this guy actually cares.
Yeah, they actually care. Yeah. And then I don't know, being invested in a story, like that's kind of how I got into, you know, Nezakiana and a lot of other titles that have like
softcore stuff.
Yeah, like the softcore stuff that have sex in them, but also, you know, have a really good plot that you can get emotionally invested in it.
Have you ever gotten to an anime through the doujins?
Yes.
Have you?
What?
Have you ever gotten into an anime because you saw a doujin?
Absolutely.
Even though you haven't seen the anime.
Yeah,
before.
absolutely.
Which one?
Okay, I remember I actually read Code Geass doujins before I watched it.
I'm not that degenerate. I'm trying to think. Which one was it?
Sort of.
No. It's hard for me because again, the only doujins I read that are parodies of anime are the anime series that I didn't enjoy. So to satiate that like space, I read the doujins for it. But I don't know if there is one that was the opposite. I'm sure there is, but they're probably just like not. They're like they're not noteworthy series. Right?
But I guess that's like the difference between just, you know, having a quick 10-minute jack off session to. My God, this is like the most degenerate goddamn podcast.
If you're watching this with your parents, I'm sorry.
No one talks about this shit, but we all experience this, and no one wants to talk about it. I don't give a fuck. Everyone wanks. Let's be honest. It's 2020.
Everybody wanks.
Everyone wanks, dude.
Put that on the shirt.
Make that a song.
Make it a song. Everybody wanks.
So I gotta ask, what is the most messed up one that you would say that you'd be like?
It's hard. Actually, that's hard because obviously some of them do try to be really fucked up, and it's just like kind of comes off as like cringy, like, oh my God,
like
you're fucking that girl's
channel.
intestines, like, come on, like you're just trying too hard.
Yeah.
But some of them are just like, oh, I didn't know you could do that. Like,
because there's an entire genre for that, right?
Yeah, like
Erogura. Yeah, it's just
that's something that I don't want to touch, man.
I don't like it. Like
I've been trying to dive into that side of things just because no one else wants to.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, how bad
For
could
good
it
reason.
be?
For good
reason. How bad could it be? And I'm like, the little that I've seen, I'm just like, I understand now. Yes, this is bad.
No, this is something where if I see some like Erogura, I have to like completely separate myself from like that work and just view it as like a piece of like
dude,
artwork.
I am soft as a pillow when I read Erogura. Like I'm just like, no, I don't know how. I'm open to a lot of like different sexual things, like, you know, different fetishes. That you do you.
Yeah.
Erogura though, if you're into that shit, don't come near me. Don't come near me.
I don't even think that like incognito mode can save you.
No.
Oh no. That's
Like
just bad.
there was a. Okay, so I was also trying to get into Eroguro, probably try and make a video on it. So in Japan, when I was at a doujinshi store, they had like these magazines that are actually, I didn't know till later, were quite famous for Guro, which is called Eroguros.
Yeah.
And do you know them?
Yeah.
And I read one, and of course it's in Japanese, so I didn't fully understand everything. But I will say, the dead baby stuff is not my favorite. What? Dead baby stuff isn't good.
I don't
I don't think we need to go any further than
Probably
that.
best we end there.
What the fuck?
Probably best to wait for either me or Sydney to make a video on it if we eventually get there. But no, but I totally get what you mean. Like some like doujins that are just like trying to be way too edgy are just like, come on.
Yeah.
Like we know you're trying. But then there are the actually fucked up stuff like Metamorphosis, for example,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like, I reckon, like, if there was one, I'd still say that's my favorite doujin, even though it completely fucked me up the first time I read it.
It's your favorite?
Yeah, it's my favorite because because I don't know, like I like a lot of stories that are quite depressing, where like you watch a character go
A
from
sad wank or what? Like,
no, because that's the thing. It was
It's like an
first-
existential wank.
It's like, why am I here? No, but,
Question life.
no, but like Metamorphosis was the first time where I was like, I was prepared to go in for a wank, but then I had to let go and be like, okay,
Hold on. Zipping
hold
up.
on.
Zipper going up.
Yeah, zipper going up because I'm soft right now, but for a good reason, right? Because
Yeah.
it's like that, because that story is like, I mean, I'm sure Sydney can vouch for this, or whoever has read Metamorphosis can vouch for this, but it's like it's a doujin, but it goes beyond a doujin,
Yeah, it's
you know?
not- yeah.
Like, how do you find it?
I definitely, when I first heard of it, I was actually, I think, from Aki's video, when she made a video just saying like, oh, it's really messed up, and I'm like, oh, okay, I think I've been around the block, but no, I definitely wasn't expecting like because I also am a big fan of depressing things.
I'm a big fan of depression. I love the work it does.
And so when so when all that started happening, when she graduated and all that, and just
We won't go into detail,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's
no
spoilers.
hella
no,
depressing.
I would definitely once I finished it, I just sat looking at like the ceiling on the bed, just like, where am I? What did I do to myself?
What did I do to deserve
I
being
know.
here right now?
What did I do wrong in my life
Yeah,
to
what,
be here?
what I think about Metamorphosis is like the Oyasumi Pun Pun of hentai.
It is.
You know what I mean?
Straight up is, and I think
Yeah.
that's why I love
Yeah,
it, because I love Oyasumi
What
Pun
the
Pun
fuck
with how
happened to this? Jesus Christ.
No, because I interviewed Shindo, the creator of Metamorphosis, and I asked him about. I obviously had to ask him about that, right? And
Yeah.
he said it in a really cool way, which was like, I wrote that story not to give this entire shock value of like, I wrote a messed up doujin, but because he was raised in America, he's like, I've seen so many people whose lives end up like this, and I wanted to show it not to like fetishize it so much, but more so to show off like, this can happen to people.
Yeah.
And if you find this like hot or attractive, then there's kind of something wrong with you. I'm not showing it as a type of fetish. I'm showing it as like, he's like, I'm throwing out a message, right?
Yeah.
It's about sending a message, basically.
Hentai is art.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
He gave the hentai, it's like, I wrote that because I wanted to show it off in an artistic way. And for the first time I was like, you know what? That didn't sound pretentious. Like, wow, you're one of the first people who are like, okay, I totally get it. Because I was the same thing. When I read it, I was like, is this just edgy? Or am I thinking about this like way too artistically? But then when you finish reading, you're like, okay, no, it is actually quite artistic.
Yeah, definitely.
You should read it.
Yeah.
Which is like
How long is it?
It's like
100 and something pages?
yeah.
Oh, so I can do it in like 30
It's
minutes.
one volume. It's like
Yeah, it's one volume.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the thing I've been wondering recently is that hentai has become this like buzzword, right? Where we use it to describe it. We use like it to describe anything that kind of involves like titty or sex nowadays. But like, do you feel like there's a difference between just hentai, like porn, and like erotica with like good like things that have good plots but also just happen to have sex in them?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I think the whole hentai's art thing that we kind of promote is that it's not so much that we think that this is like jack off material. We just think that just because it has sex in it doesn't necessarily mean that this is just porn.
Yeah.
I mean, that's you guys, not me.
Well, I mean, like that, like it's just like why does like a lot of like artistic film use sex as like a way to
Oh
like,
yeah,
show
well, that's
art,
fine.
right?
I'm
It's
not gonna like bust out my dick in the cinema when I see a sex scene.
yeah.
Like,
But I think the whole like hentai is art
But
like,
if it-
argument
yeah.
stems from like, oh, it's got titties in it, therefore it's degenerate.
I mean, the way that I judge it is if I type in free hentai and the website like has like 10 pop-ups, I'm like, this is porn.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah, this is porn. If there's not at least 5 pop-ups, it's probably not porn.
Yeah.
Right, like I'm not gonna like play fucking cunt wars and be like, oh, this is artistic. It's like, yes, I love the artistic
Yeah.
innovation of cunt
I feel like
wars.
if anything, it's just like the images that get shared around on Twitter most of the time that are just artists just drawing like just stills of something or whatever, like just hot. I like those.
Yeah.
Those are
Yeah.
nice. Those are art.
Yeah.
Like I would never like get on the train and get like a chub at seeing like a Twitter art like of like a sexual.
Oh, no.
But it's like I'm like nice. But I mean, you guys would, right? Because you read your doujin. So
I mean, just a picture wouldn't be enough. You know?
Yeah.
I don't takes more than a picture.
I don't crack a fat every time I fucking like every time I'm like, oh yeah, there's some lewds. Let me just like.
I'm
it.
just like next to the train on Joey at rush hour. I'm like, Joey, I can feel it. Stop watching hentai. Stop.
You see me on a packed train just like liking hentai on my Twitter.
Like I need the semen bank of a fucking bull if I would just if I have to jack off every time I saw a lewd on my Twitter timeline, man. Jesus Christ. Because there's so many lewds in your timeline that you'd be jacking off every other fucking second, basically.
There's got to be a challenge, right? It's like you see a nude on Twitter, you got to jack off.
You got to jack off. You have to finish every photo.
It's like the opposite of No Nut November, right?
Only not November.
Only not November.
We've got to like do a counter movement.
I like how this conversation completely just delved into just
we should go back to YouTube stuff and Sydney's origin story.
Yeah.
We'll save for the hentai episode.
Yeah,
It's all hentai.
we can talk about this forever.
Yeah, that's like a straight hour. Like, is hentai really art?
No.
This is the most civilized discussion we've had on Trash Days.
I remember when we were discussing one time, and then me and Gaunt were there, and it was you, and then I think you were like, "No, people come for me for like my super serious anime takes." I looked at Gaunt, I'm like, "What?"
No, you said because you're like, oh, people come to you because they like your personality. I'm like, no, but they want my recommendation.
Yeah, they were like, and I looked at Gaunt, I'm like, no.
This is like
Back me up, man. Back me up.
a year and a half ago.
Yeah. This is when you were like, I think you were still getting the.
I was
feel for
getting
it.
the hang of it.
Yeah.
But even then, I felt that your videos that were recommending stuff, it was still like people came for your personality, not for the recommendation.
Honestly, yeah.
Recommendations died.
Like
5 years ago.
Nobody actually seeks recommendations on YouTube.
No. And I want to just be entertained for 10 minutes. So I don't have to think about my day.
Yeah, I mean, the recommendation comes as like a plus, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
to whatever the personality who is presenting it.
If I'm honest, I mean, I don't think I'm anything you can't get anywhere personality-wise, but I mean, I'm not saying it, but I just want to say,
I wasn't going to, don't worry.
Wow.
I'm kidding.
Way to assume.
Bold of you.
Bold of you to assume.
The reason that I'm saying
I want to go on a podcast someday and do that. No need to compliment.
Please hold your applause.
fuck you guys. No, but then that's why I guess like in a way.
I don't think anyone who starts YouTube right away in the first like year thinks of themselves as a personality. Like they think oh, I'm just doing stuff about anime.
Yeah,
like, it's not about me.
I mean, it's something you definitely grow into, and I can't remember how long it took me.
Oh,
because it took me forever. Cindy, you've been doing YouTube for like how long now?
2 years almost.
Oh my god, you're a YouTube child.
Yeah,
well,
so
with this kind of content, obviously.
with this kind of content,
yeah, about 2.5 years, something like that.
Like, how's your journey been in that 2 years, like growing
Honestly,
and finding?
I
what
think
you're
I've
good
started
at?
to accept. You know, it's like kind of like at first, initially, I'm like, I don't deserve this. It doesn't feel like I've done anything.
Imposter
really.
syndrome.
Yeah, kind of like I up until recently, I had really bad.
Oh, dude, I still get imposter syndrome.
Yeah, like I'm like, why are people even like subscribing to me? Like I'm just like really loud talking about titty. Like I just say titty every like 50 times in 1 minute. But I guess recently, I'm just starting to say like maybe I'm not such a piece of shit, you know? And I guess that's
Self-confidence.
I think everyone feels imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Especially like when another big creator that like you maybe respect is like, yo, I love your stuff. You're like,
oh my god, yeah.
Good one.
Yeah.
Good one.
Thanks for
All
being
the
nice.
fucking time, they're like, oh, I like your videos. I'm like, stop trying to suck my dick. No, you don't.
I remember I don't remember who it was. I had a DM from someone. They were like, I like your videos, and I was going to reply, but I was thinking about it. I was panicking. I'm like, are they fucking with me? Are they joking? Are they poking fun at me?
No, I totally get that.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's always from that one YouTuber that you'd never thought you'd
Yeah,
associate.
yeah,
It's like, why are you on my channel?
They're like, I fucking love your videos, man. You're like, you're lying.
Every time I hear a compliment, my first reaction is just, why are you lying to me?
Yeah. Like,
Am I
What
a
do you
joke?
want?
Am I about to be punked? Is it?
No.
Like being British, I just assume they're being sarcastic.
Yes.
It's like,
Yeah.
where's the punchline? Just tell me the punchline now. Just get it over with. I don't want to hear the rest.
Please say psych.
Thank you, Bookwalker, for sponsoring this segment of the video.
Yay.
Did you know that it is Bookwalker's 5th anniversary this October? Wow. Thank you, Bookwalker.
Happy
Very
birthday
cool.
to Daddy Bookwalker.
So we're just going to take 10 minutes very quickly to talk about some of our favorite manga on Bookwalker. as their sponsor.
We're just going to do a 10-minute segment where we talk about manga. Who doesn't love manga, right?
Yeah, I love manga.
Losers.
You know what my favorite book walker?
Are you going to do it? This man finna do it.
You know what my favorite manga on Bookwalker is? It also has an audiobook counterpart
Tell
to go
us.
with it.
You're
Did
gonna
you know it's one of the best-selling books on audiobook? Bookwalker. It's You Are My Princess audiobook by, C-Dog V, I think, in the credits.
Who's that?
Wow.
Who is that, right? I'm trying to make
who
a
is
name
that?
for my up-and-coming porno star.
Is this you? Is this you?
Who's man's?
Yeah. If I haven't shilled it enough already,
Yeah.
whatever. I'm just,
Go for it.
just buy it.
Kidding.
Buy it. I mean,
God.
Fucking buy it.
the critics say it's good, and it's got 5-star rating on Bookwalker. Did you know?
Really?
Yeah, it had a 4.5 at one point. I watched that shit like a hawk. Who gave it a 4-star? It's 5 now though, so everything's been fixed. So I got mailing to
Everything
fix
is
that
where
right
it
up.
should
I did. It actually went back up on its own. I'm checking. Why am I so vain? All right, what's your favorite manga on Bookwalker, boys? Or visual novel, as I think that's some of the most popular
Visual
stuff.
You mean a
novel?
light
You mean
novel?
light novel?
You can't get visual novels. Just to preface.
Yeah.
I'm a fake fan. Can we cut that? Can we redo that? What's your favorite not visual novel? Light novel. They also sell light novels as well as manga. I believe that's some of the most popular stuff on there. As I don't really know where else you can buy light novels.
You can't really buy light novels legally in any other website, from my understanding at least.
So support the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a great place to read light novels on there. That's where I read the for fuck's sake.
My favorite one, which I forgot the name of.
I did actually forget the name of it.
I feel like I get a glimpse into what animes are going to become, because normally the most popular light novels I see a year later I'm like, that's an anime.
Yeah, I go into Bookwalker and I see like the most popular light novel that I don't know the name of, and I'm like, that's gonna be an anime soon.
Yeah,
and it usually
exactly.
happens.
Yeah, it always happens.
Or like, what was it?
actually.
Not a light novel, manga, like Gleipnir?
Gleipnir.
Fuck, I don't know.
Yeah,
What happened.
Gleipnir.
I remember that was big on Bookwalker, and then it got turned into anime, and I was like, oh, I know that. That's the one with the
Because I
bunny.
saw it on Bookwalker. Thank you,
saw it on
Bookwalker.
Bookwalker.
If I can give a sweet boy
Go for it,
recommendation, also, I just want to say that you said boys, but I'm also a female, so.
Boys and girls.
Everyone is a boy.
Everyone's a boy.
Everyone's a boy.
So Sydney, what's your favorite manga / light novel on Bookwalker?
I mean, there's just too much to pick from, Garnt.
Is that okay, Maylee? Is that good? Is that good? Can you put the gun down now?
I actually need to go to like the Bookwalker website just to refresh myself. On,
If
like,
you
what's
actually
available
looked
there.
at my Bookwalker account, it's like all yaoi.
Of course.
Because most of the time I buy it for the videos, but I actually have bought some, like, unironically, like Tendance. I've bought all of Tendance. There's only 5 volumes, and it's actually like a really fucking good yaoi.
Really? Yeah, you've recommended me that,
Unironically,
actually,
imagine like a shonen levels of hype, but with ballroom dancing, and it's hella spicy. Like, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to shout out the Index series, which I've actually read light novels on
I
there.
haven't read it, but love the anime.
Yeah, so if you are unsatisfied or confused by season 3,
Me.
please, please read the light novel of Bookwalker on Bookwalker, because that's like one of the best arcs in Index before like pre-New Testament, but I'm not going to get into that. But yeah, please read the light novel.
New Testament?
Yeah.
They got the Bible on
Testament.
Bookwalker?
They go biblical that shit.
I could give a good recommendation if you're feeling depressed, maybe, and want to feel more depressed. I'd
Oh, okay.
say-
I thought I was going somewhere else there.
I would say Aku no Hana is not a bad shout.
That's a really good manga.
Exactly.
What is it about?
That's a really good Flowers of Evil. It's a really good manga.
Yeah.
And they have an anime of it, but it's not really an anime.
Right, so
it's
what
like
happens?
kind of like,
What happens?
so this guy, he kind of just about how everybody kind of sucks in reality. That's the description.
That's yeah, basically, yeah.
Is that it? Is that
Yeah,
it?
It's
Yeah.
literally
Yeah,
it's literally just about a dude who just gets himself into a really shitty situation that
Yeah.
he can't get out of, and then he just
Yeah.
realizes, man, humans fucking suck.
Yeah,
We do,
essentially,
yeah.
it's like he tries to not be normal when he's handling the situation. He doesn't want to be as seen as somebody that can be described, or like is seen of like when they're describing him like something that can be seen as cliche. But he's actually the most cliche fucker out there.
Damn.
Damn.
So humans may suck, but thank God Bookwalker's collection of amazing manga and light novels doesn't.
You don't have to deal with humans because you can just go on
No.
Bookwalker
All
and forget
awesome
about
names.
Type it
everything.
in.
Exactly.
They
Yeah.
also have Attack on Titan on there, which if you want to keep up
What's
with.
that? I've never.
I don't know. It's just a little small indie thing. Like,
I've never heard of this series.
like, Black Butler as well, if you're wondering.
I think I've heard of that one actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kuro Suzuki. Yeah, I made one or two videos on it.
If you want to ever know what it's like to be a prostitute in another world, J.K. Haru is a sex worker. Fuckers, go!
Do you want to explain that one?
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like you said a lot of words that I feel like need explaining there.
I mean, it's kind of in the description of the title. It's literally J.K. Haru is a sex worker in another world.
How does
Gets
that?
isekai.
So is it like interspecies reviewers, but like the other way around?
Yeah, like she's the prostitute.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that it's like I've legitimately heard good things about
It is
that from
actually
like
very
several
good.
people.
It's actually very well written. It's very saucy. Makes me blush when I have to read the
Wait, so
description.
is it with like aliens or
so
something?
so like
It's with other people.
so like what's like the real hook for that series? Would
It's
you say?
essentially just kind of like there's a lot of like little mini twists in there. I'm not gonna give the spoilers because go read it yourselves. But essentially, like if you want to know what it's like being a sex worker in another world, you can't do much better.
I feel like I can't relate to either of those.
Yeah.
Maybe try reading it, and you can.
maybe I can relate to being a sex worker.
I've never thought to myself, I want to go to another world, nor have I thought to myself, I want to be a prostitute.
Well, have you really even lived?
One light novel series I want to recommend because it just finished, as of recently, the anime just finished, and the light novel just finished, is Origairu.
Are you going to recommend to read instead of watch?
Yeah.
As always, Joey.
No, actually, I would recommend the anime as well, but if you want to get like a full glimpse into like the characters and everything, because that's the selling point.
And then that's a light novel?
Yeah, that's a light novel. So it was originally a light novel series. It just finished as of recently. I think it has 14 volumes.
It's a chunky boy.
It's a chunky boy. It's a chunky boy. But I haven't read it all yet. But I kind of read up to like volume 6 or 7 around when like season 2 of the anime finished, and it is really fucking good. Like that it almost exceeds light novel quality. It's almost like just a regular standard book because the characters are just so well written. And it's a lot like Akunohana, where it's about, just how shitty humans can be, and some dude just trying to
That's me.
fit it. Yeah, it's just a really just relatable story of how one guy is just trying to fit into society, but he just does not like how society runs. He just doesn't like how the whole social hierarchy of high school is constructed and everything. And he's like, no, fuck that shit. Like, I'm not going to conform. I'm not going to conform to the machine.
Yeah.
I'm going to be my own thing. But then he realizes the difficulties of being his own thing and how difficult it is to, I guess, trust humans is probably the best way to say it. It's a really good read. I would recommend it.
Trust humans.
humans.
Why does it sound so alien? It's like, we do not trust the humans.
No, honestly, like the like protagonist, like Hachiman, is probably one of the most interesting protagonists I've ever seen in an anime. Or
I mean, he's one of the most iconic animes and iconic characters in light novels.
Yeah,
isn't he?
really?
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's just so completely different. He's almost like a deconstruction of a protagonist.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's really interesting. If you want something a little different, I would recommend Origairu.
Thank God I can read it. on
Does,
book.
can read
does
it
it
on
hit
book.
different?
Honestly,
You said different,
I've read a
man.
lot of- I've
You
read a
said
lot of light novels, man.
I've ruined the word different for
Yeah.
myself. Every time I hear the word
You're right
different
for
now.
everyone.
I've read a lot of light novels, but this one just strikes comparatively. Like it does hit different. Yeah, so I recommend it. And thank God you can read it on book. Can you read all of them on Bookwalker? Yeah. There's a lot of them. Go read it on
I
Bookwalker.
really need to just check.
They also have
Bookwalker.
the yaoi called Public Sex, which is it's exactly what you think it is.
It speaks for
Alright.
itself, doesn't it?
Literally just public sex yaoi.
Honey, you haven't
So-
recommended yet.
I'm trying to.
Okay, 12. So almost all of them. You can read almost all of Origairu on Bookwalker. So go check it out.
Do I really want to recommend Domestic Girlfriend again?
No, you don't have to. It's okay.
So, to tell you a bit more about Bookwalker, Bookwalker is Kadokawa's official bookstore and app for digital manga and light novels. They currently have over 15,000 English ebooks with new titles releasing every single week.
Unlike other digital ebook platforms, Bookwalker was made especially for otakus like you guys. So they offer exclusive digital bonus items like illustrations, wallpapers, and short stories all the time. So it's best to check Bookwalker constantly if you're interested in those.
You can read all the ebooks and manga you purchase on their website or on their dedicated app, where now they have both vertical scrolling and horizontal scrolling.
Ooh.
Look at how
That's called innovation.
Look at how sexy that is.
But yeah, it is Bookwalker Global's 5th anniversary celebration, and to celebrate, you can get up to 50% coin back, plus earn up to 30,000 extra coins. And if you know anything about Bookwalker, you would know that's a goddamn deal.
For those of you who don't know, coins are their in-store currency that you get when you purchase anything.
Yeah, it's like a point system, basically.
Yeah, loyalty
Yeah.
system.
Thank you very much to Bookwalker for sponsoring this episode. Back to the video. Knowing you personally, I feel that a lot of your lack of confidence stemmed from a certain event you had with another internet personality. namely Leafy. Like I've already explained the overall story from my perspective, but what was it like for you, like being in one of his videos and being called out by him?
Well, obviously that plays a large part as well, and like my lack of confidence. Also, I just don't think I'm a very confident person. But with the Leafy thing,
how did it all start? Like, what was the like? How did you? When did you make that video? And then
I made that video actually because you know how obviously I used to be that predictable kind of weeby cringe girl, until I think the first time I went to Japan.
Right.
And then I came back from Japan and I looked at myself. I'm like, what the fuck was wrong with me? And that's when I made that video kind of as like, oh my god, like people like this exist.
Like poking fun.
Yeah, poking fun. It was kind of like a satire.
It was too good though.
It was way too real.
You understood your core audience way too well.
Because when I first saw that, I thought it was legit.
Yeah.
And then like this one creepy guy kept re-uploading it, and like he kept uploading to 4chan, obviously. And then I deleted it when I was like 17 because I was like, I don't want this kind of.
So how long was it up before you deleted it?
About a day.
And
A day?
Like a few days maybe, but not. It was not up long.
Wait, so what? It just like blew up straight away?
No, and then a few years later, like I haven't been doing YouTube in a bit. I was just like still like in England, and then I get this notification from this girl that I knew in like. Who kind of like goes on 4chan and stuff like that, and she said, "Hey, this video of you?" And it was me. Obviously, it was a video, and it had about 60,000 views. And I'm just like, initially, I was pretty like embarrassed. I didn't feel good. Like to me, 60,000 views at that time was
That's
like,
a lot.
It might have been the world.
Yeah.
And then I kind of like felt pretty shitty about that. But then, not even a week later, I wake up in the middle of the night to my phone just constantly vibrating with all of these messages from people I went to high school with, people I'd met maybe once or twice, all on Facebook, all on Skype, Twitter, just everywhere of like, hey, you're in a Leafy video and you're pretty cringe. And
This was like at the peak of Leafy.
this was at the peak.
Right?
This is actually his most viewed video ever.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
How many views does it have?
It had last time I checked like 20 million, something like that.
Jesus
it was a
Christ.
lot,
Because-
and it sucked because I woke up to hundreds of emails of people telling me to kill myself, and this lasted for months.
Yeah, because I remember every time because how the ball kept rolling was that every time like the comments would start to die down, there would be another cringe compilation, and it was the cringe compilations that kept this
really
going on
bugged
for
me.
so long because it appeared in the Leafy video, which was just like just lit the fucking fire.
Yeah.
And then you got all the Leafy fans, and then as soon as that like you basically holed up in like a bunker and just like kept away from the internet, and as soon as you like came out, another cringe
person would
compilation would come out.
And then I'd be getting, still even to this day, people I know message me like with the video, like, hey, I just saw you in a cringe compilation, and kind of like slightly make fun of me. And obviously it doesn't feel, initially for years, like, of course, like I like it was awful. Like I didn't touch my phone. I would cry a lot. I went through a pretty bad period, not gonna lie. Like it was awful, and no amount of words or like any kind of emotion I could show you now could show you how terrible it kind of was.
Oh, I mean, just imagining it is just fucking horrible.
Yeah, no, it was terrible.
Because I can't imagine it gets to the point where people I knew from like my hometown, people who like didn't know about like anime and stuff, like I think that was the point when I remember it like really hit you that, man, this has gone really far when
people
you're
would
high school
recognize me
friends.
in person.
Yeah, because like that's 20 million views on one video, but on all those compilations, there was like, million, it could easily be up to like 100 million views.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
It's a lot of fucking people.
Obviously, talking about it now, like it doesn't feel great, but I think of course, it's been so long. I've accepted it. When people say like, "Oh, you're really like," or say insults, I'll be like, "Dude, like, who the fuck are you?" Like, I don't give a shit.
I mean, I think the fact that you've managed to like live through that and still been like, I still want to like stay on the internet, I think it's pretty fucking commendable.
I know a lot of people
I
who
know
couldn't bounce
I
around.
would immediately leave the internet.
I definitely almost didn't even try with YouTube because like, but aren't really like.
I mean, I don't blame you. Like, I think anybody would be like, no, never going on the
I mean,
internet.
it took a
was
lot of
hard.
convincing to try and get Sydney back on the internet, and it was something where I knew that Sydney had a personality that could like succeed on YouTube, but it was just trying to convince her that, hey, just ignore all these comments that you've been hearing over the
there's
past.
hundreds
Fuck the haters.
Yeah, fuck the haters, fuck the haters, fuck the hate comments. and just be you. Because I don't like one thing I can appreciate about Sydney is that she doesn't know how to be anyone but herself. Like what you see is like what you get. So like that like can also backfire sometimes where, you know, people don't know where like people like, you know, people think, you know, where like the cringe compilation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, you know, you're where you are now, and I think you're doing pretty fucking well.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's one thing I can say, you're a personality, Sydney.
You are definitely a personality.
100%
Congrats on being a personality.
You made it.
Dude, I felt so bad because I remember, like, I don't know if you remember this, but I didn't know it was you, but I knew you because of voice acting, right? Do you remember this?
Yeah.
Dude, I felt so bad about this, but now I don't give a shit.
Now
I know you, so I don't care.
Yeah.
But, so I knew Sydney from voice acting, and so when I met Sydney, when I first saw her in person, I was like, oh shit, it's her.
Yeah, you're like, hey,
And I was like, wait.
And that was like the reaction that Sydney like was so scared of, because there'd be so many times when we'd be walking around and she'd just see like a person like turn around and she's like, and Sydney would be like, he knows. Like, we need to leave right now. Oh god.
not the greatest side of like, oh, I'm a celebrity, but more of like, oh shit.
Yeah, so like,
I need the other pair of sunglasses.
I first met Sydney, and then I realized that it was her, and I asked her, I was like, Sydney, are you the like cringe girl? I think I said that, and you were like,
You said that?
I remember just looking down. I'm like, I'm never gonna talk to this guy again. Fuck this.
She was like, I have no idea what compelled me to ask you. I think because it, like, as I was talking to you, it just came in my head, and I was like, say it, Connor, say it, fucking say it. I don't know why I would never do that normally. I would normally go home and fucking analyze, enhance, you know. But yeah, I asked you, and then I remember when you told the story the first time about how hard it was. I was like, oh shit, that's awkward. I should
make
not
jokes
have.
about it, and I'd be like, I don't know him well enough to tell him to stop. Like, 'cause I don't mind now, obviously, but back then I was like, she was like,
because it's weird for me because I found out about the whole Leafy thing after I met you.
yeah.
So like when I first met you, all I knew you was Gaunt's partner.
Yeah.
So it was really like weird hearing that story like afterwards, because I don't know if you told me or someone else told me. I think maybe you told me
I think it was when we first.
It's probably when we first met.
Yeah, you're
Hi, I'm the
drinking beer,
cringe
and you're
guy.
like, hey.
I think I got you drunk enough when you were like, by the way, I was in a Leafy video.
And, like something came up and like you were like, oh, do you do stuff online? I'm like, no, but maybe you see me at that time.
Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe it's because I wasn't on YouTube as much at the time. Like I was on YouTube, but I wasn't going around watching other YouTubers at the time.
I'm like cripplingly addicted to YouTube.
Yeah, and also like at that point as well, I hadn't been on 4chan in years, right? So I didn't know what the fuck was happening over there as well. So then when I saw that video after you told me about it, I was like, oh, okay, this is the video people are talking about. But I think, but it was really weird. Like, I don't know if I'm maybe the first one to be like...
I think you actually were. Like, you're the first and only person who's just, like, didn't know.
If it's any consolation, I don't think it was that bad.
Thank you.
That was way worse.
I don't think it was that bad either. I think they were way
I
worse
thought it was
videos.
pretty obvious to me, but I guess it was.
I think it's just because it's anime. People like anime's cringe.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Especially back then as well.
Yeah.
Back then, we were like, weeaboos were the face of like.
I mean, when you saw the stuff that when you see videos of like, because sometimes I don't know why I love doing this. I just like search like 2008 conventions or 2010 conventions and just watch vlogs. From people with like 100 views. Because you get some of the like best shit from doing that. Because there's like so much in drama between these friends. Of like Cody left on day 2. Because he refused to share the bed with me. And it's like, it'll be like 100 view vlog. It'll be the fucking like...
Shane shat in the bed. And I couldn't fucking believe it.
It'll be one that, like... I remember this one time, and I guessed at a convention, like some Indiana convention, not Indie Popcorn, another one. And this convention had been going on for a while. So I was going back every single year and finding vlogs of it. And then there was this one guy from like 2010, and he opens up the vlog with, so Cody's not here. You guys know why. And doesn't explain why. And for some reason, I found that so funny.
I killed him. I straight up murdered him.
Because like mid 2000s conventions,
Dude,
I remember
so fun.
it just seemed like you're walking into another world. Like the rules of I remember when just the rules of normal society did not apply to anime conventions. You know,
that's why it's so fun.
Oh my god. Yes.
I usually hate watching like cringe compilation videos because like I personally can't stand them. I don't find them funny. But the one types of cringe compilations I fucking love is like the mid 2000s like marriage proposals at conventions.
Oh,
fucking best. It's like watching like it's always outside of the convention center, and there's a crowd of people.
Oh my God.
All the
and
same cosplayers.
Always.
It's usually like Naruhina or somebody like
Always
big like
Naruhina.
it's always Naruhina. I don't know what it is.
I think one of my favorite videos on YouTube of all time is this video called 2001, an Anime Odyssey.
Oh my God, you showed it.
I remember showing it to them at Christmas, and it's just basically a highlight reel of this very old anime documentary that follows like these
So good.
follows these people at certain anime conventions, and like this was before the mid 2000s. This is like the late 90s.
Yeah.
And oh my God, some of the stuff that was going on there was
What was the name of the dude?
Johnny Otaku. Johnny Otaku.
Oh, that's
my man.
The legend.
Where he was like, yeah, I'm going to be a Funimation voice actor.
Oh. Was he ever though? I hope.
No,
I think he was banned.
He was
very
banned,
quickly.
Yeah, I actually searched up his story after I saw that video.
So do you want to explain Johnny Otaku to people who might not know?
Johnny Otaku is one of the most one of the creepiest kind of self-confident anime fans you could ever see.
He's one of the most infamous anime fans.
The most infamous.
The kind of guy who brings you to a convention is like, oh, I know everyone here.
Yeah.
I know the guy. I know the staff.
Yeah, he's
I
like
can show you.
not even a guest, but he's like, I know the staff.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
God.
I remember in the documentary, he was like running his own radio show. That was like an anime radio show, and he was trying to be a voice actor. That he said he was saying he was an aspiring voice actor.
Yeah.
Which, going off tangent, I don't know why people use the word aspiring.
It sends shivers down my spine.
Like when I go on a Twitter profile and I see the word aspiring, and I'm like, come on, dude, you can do better.
Yeah.
Aspiring voice actor just means I own a Yeti snowball. That's all that means.
Just say just say you're a voice actor,
Yeah.
or just don't put it in. Just like one or the other, But yeah, he was an aspiring voice actor, and I searched up his story after I saw the video, and I saw like this Funimation panel where they were talking about this person called like John or Johnny or something that tried so hard to get an audition that they literally had to ban him from the Funimation offices because he was like stalking employees and all this shit. And then I kind of just connected the dots. I was like, wait a minute, there's this guy called Johnny in this one video who like really aspires to be like Vic Mignogna. And then there's this another story by Funimation employees who's talking about this guy called Johnny stalking Funimation employees at their offices. And I'm like, ooh, that's yikes.
Can I just say, can we get Johnny Otaku?
Oh my God, Johnny Otaku.
That would be fucking legendary.
Yes.
Johnny, if you're watching this, please come to Japan. I know you love this country. Just come here. We'll put you on the podcast.
Yeah.
I want to hear the story.
Yeah.
I implore the viewers at home, just type in any anime convention and type in like either
What?
2010
Okay,
15
watch-
vlogs.
yeah,
They're so funny.
Watch 2001 an Anime
So
Odyssey.
fun.
It's a
Yeah,
30-minute
that's it.
video, but my God, it's
so good.
You'll have the time of your
Oh
life.
my God.
But like going back to you, Sydney, going back to the Japan trip, I would say that completely ruined your perception of anime and weebs in general. So do you want to explain like why that happened or
Wait,
what happened?
were you the stereotypical weeb before? Like everything Japan was better.
Describe
Yeah.
yourself. Describe what you were like before, and describe what happened. And describe what
I
you
guess,
were like
like,
after.
of course, like, because the beginning was, like, I had a Japanese foreign exchange student because I was like, oh, Japanese people of Nihongo desu! And just, like, kind of, like...
Joey dies inside.
My nuts just went into
But I definitely, up until I think I met her, I calmed down a lot. I'm like, she's pretty normy. How come she doesn't know all these animes on? And then, she let me stay at her house in Japan after she went back home after a year. And
How old were you?
I was 17.
Okay.
So I went to her house, and then I kind of just went everywhere in Tokyo that was like anything. And the whole time, like, I loved the trip. Don't get me wrong, but do I think that it was anime, heaven here? Like, do I think like?
So what was your image of Japan before coming here for the
I thought
first
I'd come
time?
here and I'd be like an instant, like everyone would be like, oh, kawaii blonde girl. Just like, oh, you're so. Do you want to be an internet? You want to be an idol in Japan? Just take over the country.
Reminder, she says she had no self-confidence. You remember that?
Once I like grew up and realized like, man, shit.
Life really hits you like a truck.
And then like once I grew up, I'm like, shit, how come I left Japan and I wasn't like prime minister?
That's like every white guy when he goes to a
Yeah.
new country.
Because like
And I self-conscious. I'm just like, what if I'm not sugoi desune? And then I made like I started reflecting, definitely just on everything, and I'm like, fuck, anime lied to me.
This is a normal country.
And then just life.
Because like I remember you were telling me stories about how you were like cosplayed in Akihabara and stuff like that.
Because like when I went to Japan, it was 2012, and about I think a year prior or a year and a half prior, Anohana finished.
Oh yeah.
And we went to, and I really love Anohana, like, but so I went to the village for Chichibu, which is where it was based off of. And since I was like the blonde, blue-eyed girl, they're like, oh, Menma. So they made me like dress up as Menma for a picture.
Who made you dress up?
We went to the place that was like, because they were having a festival for Anohana.
Right.
And then there was like a street completely dedicated towards like looking like the anime, like they had a secret base and everything. And so we went to the store, I think, where they were like beginning to run everything, and then people were just like, they were like, oh shit, like we need somebody to like cosplay to gain more people to like want to come over. And then, so they just like, they asked my Japanese
find a white girl.
Find a white. And then, because I think she's meant to be white in the anime, if I remember. Like they were, but why is her name Menma?
I don't get into that.
I think she's supposed to be Japanese, but you know, anime being anime, it's like, let's just make them not Japanese.
Yeah.
So then they made me wear Menma Menma
Like the white dress.
Yeah. And just, I don't think I've ever felt so wanted. Like Japanese people were just like, I just remember like the flashing, like I couldn't see, they're just like telling me to pose, and I was just like, shit, I'm just like, I don't know, like I'm just blonde hair, blue eyed, and wearing a Menma dress, and I've never felt so loved.
Jesus,
I
I don't
it
know
all
if that
went
means
downhill
that you
from
got
there.
too much love or you didn't get any. Right. Man,
That was my-
didn't you get accused of being racist?
Now we're gonna go
yeah,
down.
why not? Why not?
Yeah, let's just jump right into it.
Yeah.
So I went. So okay, when I was studying in England, I quickly had to pick a thing I wanted to major in, and I just picked Japanese. All right, I'll say it. I majored in Japanese.
That weave.
Of course.
Was that weave?
Yeah.
And fuck. So I went to a university in London, and God, I really hope he doesn't watch this. So okay. So I had a Japanese professor, and we'd obviously write essays as you do in university.
Yeah.
And he let us pick the genre, like what we wanted to write about exactly. And I picked about like kind of Japan's fascination with Westerners and like kind of their looks, and kind of like, you know, meat, like stuff like that. And so I felt really good about it. Like I thought it was the best I ever wrote. Garnt read it. He's like,
I actually thought it was a
Yeah.
good essay.
and then when I was like so excited, I'm like, this is the best. And like I'd never been so hyped for a grade. I get it back.
That's how you know you did good shit. And you're like, I can't wait to get that fucking A.
But then I get it like the grade's back 2 weeks later, and it's a 0 out of 100. And I'm just like, what the fuck, right?
Yeah.
And so I messaged him like, why'd I get a 0 for this? He's like, because it was like, he never explicitly said racist, but he's like, you were very insensitive to Japanese people, and it's just like, just a lot of stuff. And I remember just like crying because I'm like, oh my god, it's essentially calling me racist.
So wait, was your professor like full Japanese?
Yeah, he was full. He literally came, like, he was older Japanese man who
Right.
came to like teach Japanese like culture in the university.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Maybe you just gave him a pill he couldn't swallow.
Yeah.
it might have been that.
It's like, shit, she called me out. This white girl called us out like that. 0.
Yeah, I mean, when you told me that, I'm like, but like every single sign near our house is like white people.
Yeah.
it's
yeah.
always white people.
It's like the gym. I don't see a single Asian person.
Yeah, right?
It's always
longer-
ripped white dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The longer I live here, the more I'm like, man, I shouldn't have got a fucking 0 on
Should have been 100.
like 1,000.
Because I remember you got back that grade and you were like, I had to convince you for the week that you just weren't racist.
John, am I racist?
God, maybe I'm racist. Maybe I am. Like,
You were like fucking Martin Luther. It's just like, I'm just dropping these truth bombs. You just can't handle it.
Legit, I was like convinced I was racist. Completely, I was convinced. I mean, what kind of like? If
Is that how it works? Is that how
If someone says it, I'm just like, shit. What if I have internal racism and I never even knew?
Internal racism.
No, but yeah, I almost failed university because of that.
Wow. What an asshole.
He made me rewrite it, and he actually gave me good points for. I had to read memoirs.
But didn't
of
you
a
drop out
geisha.
anyway?
I did. I dropped out,
Joke's on you.
but I wanted that credit. So yeah, that was.
You could argue that the professor was being racist to you.
Shit.
Wow, that's a Vsauce opening. I've never heard one.
Reverse Uno card.
Unless.
Excuse me, sir. I believe you are the racist one here.
Coming at me.
That's just 2020 then.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So like, I gotta ask, what was like the anime community like when you were in like your full weeb phase? Because you like
Full of racist.
yeah, you like fully embraced it, right?
Of
And
course.
like, how was anime conventions and everything for you?
Yeah, I wish I never went to an anime convention until like 2017.
Yeah, my first anime convention was like 2012 or something like
That's
that.
still early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hadn't even started YouTube at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so where was what year was the first anime convention you went to?
2009.
Oh my
9.
Yeah,
Fucking hell.
it was Anime Milwaukee. Anime Milwaukee, hit me up, bro. No, it's Anime Milwaukee, and I remember because obviously I was a full weep, and everyone's just like glomp. I'm like, oh my god, that's so original.
Oh my god!
I got shivers down my
like-
spine hearing that
Yeah,
word.
just like, I
what
just
is
lost
glomping?
the game, and I'm like, that's the most clever fucking shit I've ever.
Wait, what is glomping?
Glomping is when you... Do you want to explain it?
You don't know what glomping is? I'm
Is that
surprised.
the thing where you jump on?
Yeah,
something?
they're just like glomp. Like, I'm like,
It's like you come up to a random person and you literally just hug
like
them
hug
from
it.
behind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like,
I thought it was
glomp.
And
Like-
sometimes it's like the most aggressive hug you
Yeah,
can.
it hurts.
It's like a rugby tackle. That's
Yeah.
what it's like.
essentially always.
Yeah.
Why is like so many things in anime conventions just sound rapey?
Like I didn't know I didn't know you could be assaulted by a hug until I experienced a glomp. I'm just like, oh, that felt dirty. What the hell? What the hell was
When
that?
was the last time you showered? Fuck.
What do you think of free hugs? What do you, like? I
That's
can't fucking
bullshit.
stand the
No,
free
I
hugs
can't stand
thing.
it.
I'm like, why would I want to hug a sweaty stranger? That is the last thing I ever want to do.
I actually like before the whole Rona thing happened. Like I remember going to Shibuya and almost every time there's like a
They have
Japanese
free
dude
hugs,
with
yeah.
a free hug sign. I'm like, what? Who does this? It's 2019. Who does this?
If
Is this an anime?
If it's like a viewer who's like, I want to hug, I'm like, I got you. But if
Yeah.
it's like just
Yeah.
someone standing there who's been hugged by like 100 different people that day, I'm like, I don't want your hugs.
Yeah.
Your herpes-ridden hugs. Get that away from me.
Get it off of me. But like, yeah, because it's like you don't know what they want from you. Like,
Yeah,
do you want
yeah.
to feel my like tender breasts on your sweaty, showerless body?
Yeah, exactly. It's like it just looks really rapey to me. Like
I'm in like the 1 meter radius and I can smell the like axe.
I can
body
smell
spray.
the, I
Yeah.
can
I
smell
don't
the
need
virginity
this.
from here.
I can feel it in my pores. Yeah.
No, I don't know. I just even when I was younger, I just thought this shit was stupid. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if like
Yeah. It was
maybe it's
never-
I'm British. I don't know. We just
Yeah.
I think
I don't know,
everybody
like-
who's normal found it stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I just like my personal space, and I remember
Yeah.
like, like
my
go
personal space.
going to anime conventions back in the day just seemed like everyone looked for an excuse just to violate your
Touch.
personal
Yeah,
space
yeah.
as much as possible.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
man, do you remember like yaoi paddles and that entire
I
fucking
wasn't
phase?
around when that was.
Yeah, I
thank
wasn't
You're
God.
around.
welcome. You're
Yeah.
lucky then. Okay.
I've watched a number of videos on the
Oh
yaoi
yeah,
paddle.
Red Bard's videos.
Yeah,
right on
Red
them?
Bard's
Yeah,
videos
good
really
videos.
good on that. But I watched that. I was like, I'm so glad I wasn't at conventions during that time.
How we-
Yeah, it just seemed like
Yeah,
so,
yeah. What I heard about, I'm like, wait, so people just hit you with a wooden paddle, and no one had a problem with
Yeah.
yeah,
this.
that's just physical assault with
Yeah.
extra steps, isn't it?
It's physical assault with attitude.
It's like if I just put the word like hentai on a belt, and we're like, it's the hentai belt, son. It's time. I'm getting the hentai belt out.
Father, please.
And I saw what I'd heard about the yaoi paddle, right? I heard
Yeah.
stories about it. It's like this is gonna look amazing.
Yeah.
This thing, everyone's hitting it. It must be amazing if everyone's just letting it fly.
Yeah.
And I see it, and it's just like burned in yaoi, like sans serif font into a paddle,
Yeah,
and I'm like, this is what everyone let each other hit me with.
There was like, I've seen pictures of like old conventions where they were selling it at like
Yeah, they sold them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, what is this fucking Hunger Games? Like, it's
Yeah.
just like readily available weapons. It's like, quick, go to war, everybody.
It just proves that they will literally buy anything at an anime convention if you just put the words yaoi on it.
Yeah.
Like, It's a fucking wooden panel. There is nothing. There is literally nothing special about this. Why are people buying this?
Material cost is like 10 cents on that thing. It's like you're selling it for like $5.
There's so much shit in anime convention. I'm like, who's buying this? Like, oh my god.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's just evolved.
I think I'm British. I think I'm British.
Now,
as
if you
well.
want to sell something,
okay.
now if you want to sell something at an anime convention, just put a fucking Ahegao face on it. That shit will sell
That's
like
the new
hotcakes.
thing.
You know.
I remember I would see people go around with like these steins, like the metal steins. I'm like, why is everyone holding a stein? And
fuck is a stein?
Like a really big like German like mug, and it was like metal. And there was just someone in the vendors was just selling like weird kind of concoctions, and I was like. This is why are you carrying around a metal ass jug all day that you can refill when you can just drink some fucking water out of it? Like,
you ever heard of a water
I
bottle?
don't want to hold a fucking glass all day.
Yeah.
This thing was huge,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, what is wrong with anime fans? They'll buy anything that's put in front of them. Like, it's a deal though.
Maybe if you looked closely at the stein, you
It's
would
got yaoi at the bottom.
It's like an Ahegao at the bottom. It's the yaoi stein.
I don't know. I just think my parents just fucking. They just told me everything that you don't need is a scam, Connor. Like 7-Up, you don't need that. You got water. It's a scam. 7-Up's a scam.
7-Up's pretty bomb though, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I prefer 7-Up over Sprite.
I
Yeah,
used to
same
love lemonade
here.
as a kid, and now I
Same
just
here.
think all lemonade tastes
I
like
don't know. McDonald's Sprite.
mid.
What, McDonald's Sprite?
McDonald's Sprite's the best.
What's the difference between
McDonald's Sprite is
and
just
regular
Sprite.
Oh my god. Have you never had McDonald's?
McDonald's Sprite
American
is just-
McDonald's Sprite.
Actually,
Why would I walk into a McDonald's in
when
America?
I used to
That is true. That is true.
when I used to work at McDonald's, because it's like a syrup, right? It's like a
Yeah.
So when we had to like connect it, one time I got like the Coke syrup on my hands,
Yeah.
and I was like, and it was like the sweetest. It was. I imagine that's what 15-year-old me thought doing a line of Coke was like. That shit was so sweet and juicy. Oh my god, it was amazing.
Succulent.
It was succulent. It was amazing. That was beautiful, and that was the only good thing that ever happened working.
Did you guys ever see the yaoi guy at like some of the first conventions
The
you went to?
yaoi guy?
Yaoi guy?
So I don't know. There was this guy, right? I don't know how he got all around the world, but he'd go around some of the biggest conventions, and you'd know it was the yaoi guy because there would be this one booth that would be selling like yaoi and doujinshis, and there would just be this guy that would just keep shouting out, "Yaoi, get your yaoi!"
Yes. Oh my god, yes.
I've met him.
You've met him.
I've met him. He was at a convention in Finland.
Yeah,
And I'm like, I think I saw you in America like last month. Why are you here?
yeah, I saw him at like an ASEN convention, and then I
Yeah.
saw him again at like MCM 2 months later.
Yeah.
I don't know how he just like, and he would always shout this out. And I remember
Yeah.
how
So you're telling me that Mr. Yaoi is also Mr. Worldwide?
Mr. Worldwide yaoi.
I remember because of how aggressively he would fucking sell yaoi
my
to
God,
girls.
yeah.
Like girls would come up and he goes, "Yo, girl, what do you want? What yaoi do you want? This girl is buying gay porn, everyone. She is buying yaoi. Hi, what yaoi do you want?" And then the guys would come up and there would be a different guy selling doujinshis at the same booth.
Yeah.
And it would be like this indiscreet drug dealer being like, yo, boy, what do you want? Like, no one has to see. I'll fucking bag it up. No one has to see. It'll be coming in a paper bag.
You want the eye penetration stuff? Yeah. Slip it on there. Slip it on there.
Yeah, and I don't know. Like, I think he's gotten banned or something now because I haven't seen
Yeah, I
him.
haven't seen him in
That would
years.
annoy the fuck out of me.
Yeah, because like thinking back, I'm like, man, that probably wasn't cool for like any girl who just wanted to indiscreetly buy some
something,
some
yeah.
yaoi or
Oh,
something.
it is like
and things
next
that.
level sexual assault. At that point, right? It is like the most like big brain sexual assault where it's like I'm not actually assaulting you sexually, but I kind of am by
Yeah.
words.
Words,
Yeah.
verbal.
I love anime conventions, but I just feel like I'm like out of my league, man. I'm like, I get there and I'm like, I love the atmosphere, but sometimes you just see weird shit and you're like, all right, I'm out. I'm a head out.
I don't know what it is when I hear about you go to AX or something and you hear about a group of guys who have met on Discord and like rent out an Airbnb together. For some reason, 90% of the time that just never ends up well
I
at all.
did that and it went fucking horribly.
I hear that I'm just like that's how murders happen.
Well, no, but see,
Alright.
the thing I thought was like, right, listen, this hotel's expensive.
Yeah.
I don't care who is going to be in this room.
Yeah.
I need to just fill it and get this price down.
That's your first
Yeah.
problem.
I'm broke as fuck. I need this hotel to cost $100 for this whole thing, or I'm out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you kind of like take the area of like the hotel room and you're like, how many times can I divide this by a human body?
So-
okay, that's how many bodies are
this is
sleeping in
why-
this room
is
right
why
now.
You've got to become the host, right? If you got the host, no one can argue whether you get
Yeah.
like the
Right,
bed.
right,
Yeah.
It's like, well, I arranged it. What are
Yeah.
you going to do? It's in my name. What do you mean made me take the floor? You wouldn't dare.
This episode is sponsored by Honey.
These days, it feels like online shopping is the only shopping that we do.
That's true. That's true, Gon.
I never go outside to shop anymore, and that's where Honey comes in.
It's the free browser extension that scours the internet for promo codes and automatically applies the best one available at the checkout. I am reading a script.
So, gentlemen, do you love spending money?
I love spending money, but
You
know what?
hesitated there, God.
Do you know what I love more than spending money?
Tell me.
Getting free money.
Oh my God, I love free money. Gentlemen, here's how it works. You get Honey on your computer for free in 2 easy clicks by going to joinhoney.com/trashtaste.
Then, when you're checking out on one of its over 30,000 supported sites,
Shit,
that's a
of
lot.
sites.
That is a lot.
That's a
of
big
sites. That's a
number right
lot
there.
of damage.
That's
to
a
my
lot
free
of
wallet.
shop sites. Well, Honey pops up, and all you have to do is click apply coupons. That's it. You save money.
And you just wait a few seconds and it'll apply all the coupons automatically. You do 0 effort, and for nothing, for free, you gain free money. Or you save
Fucking
free
love
money.
Free money.
I love it.
free money.
I do, who doesn't love free money?
I love pizza. just keep that in.
I also love pizza, and Honey saved me personally tons of money on pizza. And I know you guys know, pizza's pretty fucking expensive. Little fuck.
I'll complete your sentence. Pizza and
Pizza is expensive, and I saved a lot of money off of pizza.
How much money did you save, Joey?
I'd say at least 10, 20 bucks. At least, minimum.
Yeah, I use Honey on a lot of clothing store, and recently I did save about like $30 on them.
Oh shit. Okay.
I never put Honey on pizza, but I definitely use Honey for pizza. The sponsor for today's video.
Oh my God. Joking aside, I've actually used it. It's good, by the way. I've saved like $10 on stuff before. Just saying.
And that's Honey. It's simple, it's free, it's easy to use. What are you waiting for? Go install it today.
Honey has found its over 17 million members over $2 billion in savings. That's about the same amount as Gaunt spent on gacha.
Wow.
You could have.
Mr. Beast, please sponsor me. I need help with my gacha.
Not only that, but Honey supports all kinds of retailers, from tech and gaming sites to fashion brands to even food delivery. Yes, including pizza.
Oh my God.
Joinhoney.com/trashtaste. Links in the description below.
That's joinhoney.com/trashtaste.
Thank you to Honey, sponsor of today's episode.
Back to the video.
Do you guys though have like at least that one like anime convention story that you share with people though? Because like
I have like a million.
yeah, well, I mean like but that one that just sticks out to you is just like you meet somebody, or I guess specify that
Yeah.
one convention story where somebody was the biggest fucking asshole.
Oh, yeah.
Because we have one.
Morals just go out the window, I swear. In anime.
We should probably tell this one when we're both on this podcast.
Yeah.
Because I remember the one guy that ever stood out to both of us. I've told this story on Sydney's channel before, but it was the very first time me and Sydney had met in person and like probably started dating. So anyone who's been in a long distance relationship will know how difficult that is.
Yeah.
Like when you don't get to see your partner very often, so you have to like treasure every moment that you get to be with your partner.
Yeah.
Now this was the very first time me and Sydney had met in
we had the
person,
first weekend
and it was
together.
2014 ASEN.
Yep.
And on the last day, we had to say our goodbyes.
Yeah.
And obviously it was a very, very,
the story.
a very,
I
very,
think I know this one.
it was a very, very tearful goodbye
Yeah,
because
like,
obviously
I was sobbing.
at the time we didn't know when we would next get to see each other, right? So Sydney was in my arms and she was like crying. It wasn't like a subtle cry. It was a proper cry.
Like,
It was
like an ugly
Like-
cry.
Yeah. Ugly. I was
it was like makeup spewed all over your face kind of crying.
Right,
you know?
right.
Like he's going to war, man.
Yeah, yeah, and like I'm like comforting her, and just as we're just like hugging together, I just hear in the corner of my ear, "Gigok," and I was just like,
No way.
and I was just like,
It's not even the worst part yet.
I love this story so much.
and I just sighed, just be like, "Hi," and there's just this guy standing at me, and he had like the the surprise face, and I was trying to like like signal like. Look at Sydney, look at Sydney, look at Sydney, like just give us a moment, because this is my very first convention in America, and like probably my very first convention as like a YouTuber, so I wasn't used to getting recognized. If this happened now, I'd be like, dude, can you give us a moment? But back then, I did not know how to deal with it.
You didn't know how to say hold on.
Yeah, I didn't know how to say no, basically. So he was like, can I take a picture? And I'm just like, inside, I was like, is this guy serious?
Yeah,
is
right.
this guy fucking serious right now? and I'm just like, okay, sure.
And then so like we separate, right?
Yeah, we separate.
I go to the side, and he comes.
Wait. No. I got this. So I got this. So he tries taking some pictures, right? And he does the thing where the first selfie he's not happy with. Yeah. So he's just like, no. Let me try again. Okay, no.
You get 3, and then I'm like, fuck off.
And he tries the third time, and he's still not happy. And then he looks over to Sydney, makeup all over her face, tears down her fucking face, or like all over her cheeks. And I'm just like, don't do it. Don't fucking do it. Don't fucking do it. Can you take a picture for us, please?
I was still crying, and I'm like, sure, because I didn't know what I was so brutal, and then I did it. Oh, I love it.
He
took his phone.
He has the gall to ask Sydney to take a picture for us.
I did it though.
And like I went from like really, really sad that I'm not gonna see Sydney for a while to just like confused, angry, to be like, is this guy for real? Is he for real? Is he for real? Like, how are you feeling in that moment?
I was pretty pissed. I was like angry, but I was like, because I thought maybe like, is this normal? Should we?
Yes.
I'm like, he's a big star. I should know. So I should know better. And just
at least he wasn't like, hey Sydney, do you want to be in the photo with us?
Oh my god.
That would have been a better time.
Clean yourself up and then get in the photo.
Bathroom's over there.
Put some water on, come back.
Speaking of bathroom, I remember, this isn't really much of a story, but that was the worst time someone asked me for a photo. I was queuing up to take a shit at AX. I kid you not, right? Yeah. I'm taking a shit, and the guy, so you've got to like line it, because the fucking toilets are tiny in the AX convention center.
Yeah.
And the guy's having a piss on the cubicle, another cubicle, the urinal, and I'm just on my phone. He turns around and he's like, Sea-Dog. I'm like, yo, what's up? Thinking that like that's it, because we're in a fucking toilet.
Yeah.
He's like, can I take a photo? I'm like, you didn't even wash your hands. Dude. Don't come near me. Like still zipping up his pants. And I'm like, no, we can't take a picture right now. I'm about to take a shit in the toilet with other people pissing at the same time. It's filled, and I feel like I'm the asshole.
Yeah.
Because now everyone's looking at us, and I'm like, are you kidding me, dude? I'm about to
I've had a similar thing, but I was actually at the urinal.
No.
Yeah.
Dick in hand.
Yeah,
Like,
dick in hand, and
I've been there.
And the dude directly next to me was like, yo, Joey, what's up?
No.
And I'm like, can you not see that I have my penis in my hand right now?
My stream would instant stop at that moment.
I think mine actually got faster, because I'm like, I'm pretty sure this guy's about to ask a photo.
No.
I'm not about to get a photo taken as I have a dick in my hand. You know?
Because like I didn't have to react to that, because I remember the exact same thing happened to me when I was in the urinal, and it's the case where there are like 5 urinals in a row, and I was in like the one at the end, and I knew something was wrong when a guy chooses the one right next to me, and I'm just like, here we go, here we fucking go.
I saw Gigi's penis, guys.
And I'm like, what? Why are you like? My first instinct is like, why are you standing in the urinal next to me? There are, if you're not a guy, there's an unwritten etiquette to like toilets where if the urinal next to you is like free and there's like more urinals other than the one next to you is free.
Basic instinct.
You don't go to the one next to the person already pissing.
You don't want to be that creep.
That's basic urinal etiquette.
Yeah, you don't want to be that creep who's like, I don't want to look at his penis, but I want to look at his penis. I want to look at his penis.
Yeah. So I finished my business, and for some reason he asked for a handshake. I'm like, can you at least let me wash my hands first, man?
I want to touch the dick hand.
Pretty sure that's how coronavirus started.
So what was your like most like weird or strange convention experience before you were a YouTuber, like or before you met Gaunt? Is there like any weird stories?
Say for example, like the first convention you went to.
I would say like actually it was probably I was doing like say voice acting online. You know, I wasn't like massive at that point. I was, like, I was a senior in high school, and I actually worked at the Maid Cafe at Anime Milwaukee.
Of course you
I
did.
did.
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah. You didn't even need to tell me. I just assumed.
And then oh my god, I really hope this guy doesn't watch this. But so I was just kind of like, we had 10 minutes off, right? So I was gonna go get some water or something, and this guy is just like, wow, are you working at the Maid Cafe? And I had my maid outfit on. We all had the same uniform. I'm like,
yeah, no shit.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, and he's like, okay, and I'm like, okay, and I was on the escalator, and then he turned away, and then I turned away, and then when we were closing up for the night, this guy comes up and he hands me like this $1 that he origamied into a shirt, and he's like, do you think this is a really cool like thing? And I'm like. He's like, you can keep that. You can keep that $1. I'm like, wow. And then
Like you're frothing at this point.
Finally paid.
Frothing at the loins. It's like, oh shit, he gave me $1.
And then so I was just sitting down waiting for like to get my parents started, like waiting for the night to end. And then he just sat down, and then he just didn't say anything. And then like 20 minutes goes by, and I'm like, I'm gonna go in the back, and I stay there for 2 hours, and he's still there waiting. And so I actually had the manager go out and yell at him to get out, and I feel bad because he's actually really shocked. Like, he thought I was genuinely gonna come out and be like, "When's our date?" And I mean, I guess that's not like the most creepiest thing. Like, that doesn't sound like
sounds kind of rapey to me.
Yeah, that sounds hella rapey.
but it was definitely something I look back and I'm like, I kind of feel bad, but another way, he probably could have been a bit better about it.
I swear, like, I don't know what it is about anime conventions that just turns anime fans into just monkeys. Like,
I don't know. I think it's just a lack, like a lot of young people and a lot of old people who lack social skills.
yeah.
You know, not to be mean, but I think a lot of people who go to, there's a good chunk of people who go to anime conventions who don't really like, you know, who
Socially off.
Yeah.
they don't really socialize too much outside of, you know, maybe playing games online. And I don't know. I feel like
I think there's a lot of
You
them
get-
who just assume that because you like the same thing as me,
Yeah,
I can do anything with you.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
be okay with it.
I'm definitely glad that I don't know that when I was younger I didn't interact with people because I feel like I would have been weird. You know?
I'm kind of glad I didn't go to anime conventions that early as well, because like seeing how many stuff is coming out about the Smash community and stuff, I can only imagine what's happened with like anime
probably been some
communities.
fucked. I can easily guarantee, based on
Yeah.
what I've seen in private, like people do at anime conventions now. I can only imagine how. Bad
I'm honestly
it was
surprised the
back then.
Smash convention was called out before the anime convention scene. Because
Yeah.
I'm sure there's horrible stories that go behind the scenes.
I
at
think
anime
the problem
conventions.
is with anime conventions, a lot of the time it's like not like the celebrities, like the organizers sometimes.
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah,
are
yeah,
just speculating, and like
I mean, there are stories of that
yeah,
as well.
and it's
Yeah.
kind of hard to.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to. It sucks, but like cancel someone who no one cares about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
when you cancel like a community like Smash, you've got like these big names, right? And
Yeah.
when you bring it out, it's like I cared about that person.
Yeah.
But it's like, dude, the event organizer of XCon in your area is a rapist. And
It's
it's
like, who?
Oh, who's that? Like, is the con still on though? Like, it's bad. Is
the staff okay at least?
It's bad. I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
trying to make light of any of that. I mean, it's really fucked up, but I mean, that's kind of how it is, right? It's unfortunate. I don't know. It's a depressing topic, obviously, that people don't like talking about. It's not
Yeah.
that funny.
Let's change the subject.
But-
But
I mean-
okay, but like I want to know, right? Having how you've done YouTube for how long would you say now?
It's the beginning of YouTube.
Since the beginning. But
Well,
okay,
I
okay,
know,
but like
this
as
type
as a job,
Like full time.
As a job.
yeah, as a full time YouTuber, how long
I
have
would
you been doing it?
say about like a little over a year and a half.
Year and a half, 2
Yeah.
years. Okay, so like, because I always ask people who like kind of come into the whole full time YouTube thing like as of recently, right? Because like being a full time YouTuber now is completely different to like being a
Oh,
full time
yeah.
YouTuber, say like when Garnt became full time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So like, as someone who's been there from the beginning of YouTube, how would you say it's like changed as a full time thing, as opposed to like just doing it as a hobby?
I think definitely like it's more profitable now. Obviously, back then in the beginning, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like I'm not saying like you're rolling in it by any means. Like,
Yeah.
for God's sake, like none of my videos are monetized.
You kind of do it to yourself.
I can't really complain about that.
Telling me the video where you reviewed the pussy of the round table wasn't monetized?
Are you saying this
Actually, it's
episode?
monetized.
Are you saying sponsored? Yes.
If not for Patreon and sponsors, you just
No,
wouldn't have
like,
a job.
But you're getting out there though, and that's
Yeah.
that's the important. Like,
Right.
Yeah, and then if you get like if people watch you, then people are gonna be like, shit, let's get this bitch to advertise our fucking shit.
Right,
And
right,
then
right.
that's, I mean, definitely it's like back in the monetary days when YouTube wasn't so pissy.
It was bound to happen.
Yeah,
though.
it was bound. Of course, like
Everyone knew it was going to happen.
I really somebody like me shouldn't be monetized on there. But
I wonder because like back then I almost think for me like YouTube was as much of like a social thing for me as much as like I enjoyed making the videos. It was more about like because it was the same with voice acting for me. The major reason I kept doing voice acting and I liked it so much is that it was like how I socialized with those people.
Yeah.
And I almost felt like YouTube was an extension of that where half the time, which is why, when we said ages ago where I was like, they're only making videos for each other, et cetera, because I remember when I did it, like when you first start, you kind of do make videos in a sense for your peers and for like to impress one another because it's a very social thing when you're smaller because there's no pressure, right? It's like, I just want to make videos. My mate made a really cool video. I want to make a cool video to like.
Yeah, you're just dicking around with your friends,
right. And half the funny, like what I thought was funny at the time, probably not funny at all. Stuff I made was because I'm like, dude, my friends are gonna fucking love this. They're gonna laugh their ass off, right? That's why I made it half the time, and I feel like that aspect pretty much goes instantly when you start doing it full time. I mean, you still do make friends. Obviously, we're all YouTubers and friends, but the aspect of making videos for like a social purpose completely goes. I find.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I'd still say I do kind of make videos for social purposes because it's still.
I guess technically because you're talking about current topics a lot.
Yeah, I mean, and there's also like when we talk about YouTube, I see YouTube now as like I just make YouTube for like a general audience, not just like an anime watching audience. So like there are a lot of other YouTubers out there who do things that are like have nothing to do with anime, but I still respect their content.
Oh, yeah. Same.
Like it's the best fucking feeling when you meet a guy or a girl who has nothing to do with your community, and you find out they watch your content, and you're like,
I love your stuff.
Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute, I love your stuff too.
Everybody claps.
That is like,
did we just become best friends?
That is the best moment because you're like, we're gonna hang out, right? Hell yeah, we are.
We're gonna hang out. We're not gonna make a video. We're just gonna hang out.
just gonna chill.
You you found a good like new YouTuber friend when you meet for the first time, and the word collab just isn't said for like the first 5 meetings.
That's the best.
Yeah.
you don't even take a selfie together.
No.
You just hang out.
Like you just enjoy each other's like essence.
The biggest thing I hate is when someone is like, hey, let's collab. And I'm like, all right, what do you have in mind? I don't know. Just want to collab. And I'm like, can you come with like an idea or something? Like, I don't want to do the work if it's your collab. Like, like I can't stand it and like, let's just collab. Let's just do it. Like, what? What do you want to do? Tell me what you want to do.
It's so easy to do a collab, isn't it?
I can't think of my own videos. What makes you think I'm going to help you with yours?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Sorry, I'm getting angry. I just had so many moments where that happens.
You came in with a bit of a chip on your shoulder.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Yes, I do, John.
So, like, how long do you think, like, currently, because, like, I assume you want to, like, continue to, like, evolve your content in some ways, right?
Definitely.
Like,
I definitely don't, as much as it probably pains some people to hear, I don't want to just stick with hentai. I want, because I have other things I like to do. I'm not some nymphomaniac as many people have alluded to.
Yeah, well, what are people's like assumption on you based on your content?
A lot of people have actually asked me, it's like, do you just like have sex all the time? Do you just read sex? Is that all you fucking do? And I'm just like, why would you think that? There are people who do content.
Whatever would make you think I'm horny?
No, okay, it's like to you, is hentai now, has your relationship with like hentai changed? Because we were talking last week about how our relationship with anime has changed, because even though we still very much enjoy it, it is part of the job as well.
Yeah, if anything, I would say like my knowledge and just like appreciation of it has grown deeper, and just like kind of like it's more like it never really changed too deep. I would say like in terms of like enjoying it as sort of a hobby now, it's just kind of like just reading it, not even just for like to get horny or just like enjoy it.
The last thing I want is like I'm mid wank and I'm thinking this is gonna make a great video. You know what I mean? Like,
that's the thing, right? Like, do you ever get to the point where you're just reading a doujin
and
in the back of your mind you're like, I could just read this, or I need to be reading this because I need to make a video on it.
That actually kind of does suck, because it's just like sometimes you're just like, okay, all right, I
don't want to ruin porn from
Yeah.
me. Not that I'm fond of it anyway. I just don't want to form an attachment.
This is why I find it so hard to stream sometimes, because
Yeah.
I video games are like my one last bastion of like a hobby that I can just turn to whenever like maybe I'm like burnt out on anime. Like
I get that. I do. I think it's like 50-50 for me on the video game. Like
Right.
there's some video games like League of Legends is just stressful to stream. Because like I'm 0-8 on stream.
Yeah.
I'm laughing it off, and every single time I die, you look at my eyes, and I'm like 0-9. But like playing like fucking Super Mario on stream is chill as fuck. Because
Yeah,
it's like
gaming for me is half off as well because like I don't stream every game I play.
no, same,
Yeah, yeah,
same,
yeah.
same.
So like some games I'm just like I could have easily fucking streamed Animal Crossing for like 5 months straight and been like, yeah, that's content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that game is so personal to me that I'm like, I don't want to stream it. Like
Yeah.
that's just something that I just want to keep completely separate from any monetary
Not
thing.
any corpse party, right?
Yeah, right. Like 100%. Like if it's like Corpse Party, I'll be like, fuck, y'all stream that shit because it's fucking Corpse Party.
Exactly.
Like I'm not gonna play Corpse Party on my own for like my own enjoyment. Why the fuck would I do that?
I'd argue there's some, like, even though gaming for me is still, like, I try to make it my personal thing, there are some games that I genuinely think are better enjoyed with an audience.
Oh yeah.
You
Yeah.
agree? Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just trying to think of some at the top of my head.
Oh, like Mario 64. Like when I streamed
Oh
that
my
shit.
God,
that
like,
shit was
that-
fucking fun.
yeah, like,
Because people are just giving me shit for being like crap at the game,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm like, you want to try and play this game after like a 15-year gap?
like stuff like Mario Party is really fun being streamed.
Mario Kart's really fun.
Mario
as well.
Kart's fun streaming.
Yeah.
Like I think any game that has a very easy to understand concept with an immediate like feedback loop
Yeah.
is like great. The games where you have to queue up 5 minutes, play for 40 minutes,
Yeah.
like multiplayer games don't work. I don't like watching other people play League on stream really, except for like the LCS.
yeah.
And
Or the Worlds.
Yeah, Worlds.
Well,
What's going on right now?
because you started streaming recently, right, Sydney?
Actually, before I started doing YouTube, I tried being a Twitch streamer full time.
no way.
Yeah.
Really?
What? For all like a good 5
What did you
months.
stream?
I'd stream mostly Resident Evil.
Really?
I really like shooting games because it feels just like it's just like
No brain.
Yeah,
Pull
'cause-
the trigger.
That was back when we were living in Thailand, and
Yeah.
Sydney, like because of her visa status, she couldn't get like a proper job there.
Oh,
So
she's streaming,
she would
Yeah.
like try to take any like odd jobs or like contractual jobs that she
Yeah.
could. And like on the side, I was like, well, you don't want to be a YouTuber because she was still
Yeah,
kind of
so-
scarred from
yeah.
the Leafy thing.
Yeah,
so I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
why not try streaming? That's
Yeah.
So how did that go for you?
it actually went okay. Like I got 5 viewers, and actually my mods now that are like man my Discord as well as like everything are actually the 5 people from that time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
That's how you know they're real ones.
I know, to be
Yeah,
fair.
the original
And to be
5.
fair, like I wanted to grow my audience, and then Garn's like, just try doing YouTube. I'm like, fuck. All right, I'll do it, and then just did YouTube instead.
So do you plan to like go back into streaming?
Streaming's actually a lot of work, isn't it? Like
Do you-
it's
oh
just
yeah, I
like,
was going to ask about that. What do you think about the whole streaming versus YouTube debate? Because they always fucking argue.
Yeah, it's
about
like,
it.
oh, streamers don't put any effort in,
And the vice versa,
Yeah, vice
yeah.
versa. It's
To be fair,
like,
streaming's hard. Like streaming, you have to like talk to people constantly. You have to like be entertaining nonstop for hours and
yeah.
hours on
Yeah.
end. Like constantly, like it feels like you're being like you have to be excited, peppered, energetic. Otherwise, you're boring.
Yeah.
And it's
Like if you had to pick, like if you say you could be just as successful in either career choice, being a YouTuber or a streamer, putting in the same amount of hours, which one would you prefer to
YouTube,
be?
100%, 100% YouTube.
I think
because-
I'd do YouTube as well.
Yeah.
if I'm
like
honest.
it's because streaming is like every day. It's constant.
Yeah.
I think I find streaming easy. Like I can just chat shit for like 5 hours, no problem.
Yeah, but you're like one of the most extroverted introverts I've
Yeah,
met. Like,
Maybe.
there are times when I'm just like, I just don't want to talk. especially when I'm streaming. My stream limit is 2 hours. After 2 hours, I'm just like,
Same.
man, I hate talking.
Yeah.
Moving my
Yeah.
mouth is just effort now.
I used to
Yeah.
love doing 24-hour streams. I've done like 5, I think, in total.
That sounds like torture to
Yeah,
me.
that sounds like torture.
The last 8 or 6 hours are just pure pain, and the last 2 are like you're a zombie.
Yeah.
And like you forget. I would be like, oh, I haven't spoke for a minute. I'm sorry, chat.
That's what it feels like, though. It's like
But it's good because it gets people excited because they know that they can just turn it on. But like, I don't know. I find streaming easy when I do it, but the problem is that I don't know how I could do it 5 days a week.
No.
No.
I like that with YouTube. Okay, I can work 14 hours a day for a week if I want to,
Yeah.
but I can also just not work for a week if I've prepared properly,
Yeah,
right? And I
yeah.
really love that flexibility. And I feel like with streaming, even I've started getting it a little bit. I'm like, wait, why did I lose 200 subs?
Yeah.
or I haven't streamed in a week.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh shit, am I getting that pressure of a streamer where it's like, I gotta keep my subs
You gotta
up.
maintain your sub count.
Yeah.
Right, and it's almost like you're gamifying it, but it forces like, you see these streamers that do like 12-hour streams a day, like 4 or 5 times a week, and I'm like, that can't be healthy.
They're just built for that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like they're just built different.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say it.
They're just built
Built
different, man.
Built
What can I
different.
say?
Honestly, like I really do think that streaming.
Like I think I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna probably piss people off. I think streaming takes way less talent. I think it just takes
A lot of patience,
I think it takes a lot of learning and effort. Like, I think anyone can be a streamer. I think for some things on YouTube, it's a lot harder to succeed.
Yeah.
I think YouTubers become very specialized. As
I don't know. I feel like it's like half and half, because I feel that with streamers, to stand out in this day and age, you have to have something about you that makes you stand out.
That's true.
Whether it be
Or
like
you have to be a VTuber.
or you have to be a VTuber, and even then, it's just a matter of time before VTubers get so oversaturated.
Oh yeah, it's gonna happen.
that it's gonna
It's
be
already happening.
exactly, right. I mean that's why Hololive have like a audition period.
Yeah.
Like there's it's no coincidence that everyone on Hololive is really, really good at being entertaining. It's because they fucking auditioned for it.
I mean, I'm not saying that like, it requires no talent whatsoever. I just think the barrier of entry to, I mean, even Twitch is really hard to get an audience on.
Yeah.
I feel like YouTube, it's easier to get to the first 1,000 subs. Whereas on Twitch, it's hard to go from 0 to 10. Like, that's hard.
I just feel like with YouTube, there's more opportunity for creativity.
There is. There definitely
Because
is.
with streaming, you are way more limited in your ideas of what you can do. And not saying you can't do original ideas, but you are way more limited than what you can put in a YouTube video, per se.
That's true. But I don't know. I feel like YouTube has become so competitive recently to be even notable whatsoever. I'd
argue Twitch is like even more competitive.
Oh, yeah.
Really? You think so?
Yeah.
I think Twitch is way more
Really?
competitive.
Okay. That's fair enough.
I would have no idea how I would go about growing myself on Twitch if I wasn't already established.
Yeah.
Whereas, I wouldn't either.
Yeah,
But, like-
whereas on YouTube, I'd be like, maybe I can do like an interesting video idea, or like, tackle a certain topic in a way that no one else has.
Because
But
let's be real, when it comes to Twitch like discovery,
Oh, it's garbage.
it's shit. Like people don't go on Twitch to watch VODs.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's just not how it works.
like, as in, like, to be a successful Twitch streamer, is it the problem of I'm not entertaining enough, or the algorithm is fucking me?
Yeah.
Like, what's like?
It's
or is it a mix?
It's a bit of both, I reckon. Because like again, it stems down to that whole thing of like, if you have more than 20 viewers in a stream, every stream, then you're technically in the top 10% of Twitch.
Yeah.
Right. It's like there's just anybody can do it, but to maintain that level of quality throughout the entire time, I think does take a somewhat of a talent, right?
There's a lot of streamers that, like, between 20 and 100 that just like you build up that like audience of just pure like commitment. Just like constantly interacting with them.
Yeah.
And I think to get to that point is like just requires just not being a dick and just dedication.
Because like I'll tell you one of the big reasons why I was able to get into like the VTuber scene versus like the live streaming scene before like VTubers came along is because what I couldn't get into about like streamers is that they're basically always streaming, right? They could be streaming 8 hours a day, so you can tune in anytime you want, but you don't know what they'll be doing. Sometimes they'll be playing a certain game, then I get that you can just leave them on in the background, but I like having like a piece of content that I know I can watch. So with VTubers, most of their streams are like 1 hour or 2 hours long. Yeah. So it's just like very segmented. So I know what I'm getting out of a VTuber stream. They're going to be playing for this set amount, and it's on a schedule. They're going to be doing X show or playing X game, and I can be like, okay, I'm going to watch this VG for this time, and then I could do something else. Yeah. Whereas with Twitch, it's just like, do I want to put them on in the background? Maybe not. There's nothing that inherently draws me to their content aside from if I really like their personality.
And also, it's just so much easier to like watch back on VODs on YouTube because YouTube is built as a already pre-recorded video service, right? So it's just way easier to like go back. Like if you missed a VTuber stream, then it's so easy to just go into the channel and just see all the VODs there, like a regular YouTube channel.
Right.
Whereas with Twitch, looking through VODs is a fucking pain in the ass because they've set it up so shittily.
That's why everyone has a fucking highlights channel.
Right, exactly.
Which I want to get as well.
Exactly.
I saw someone started highlighting your Twitch streams as well.
Yeah, they did. And I want to basically just get one where I can just like, split the ad rev with someone. So it's like, all right, they just do it. They get the ad rev. Whatever, and then it's just,
job opportunity.
make content more. Because like, I mean, if I'm streaming, I may as well turn it into content, right? Like, if I have nothing to do with it, great. Like, I can just, yeah. I mean, it's whatever. I mean, I do think that Twitch is fucking hard to get the ball rolling. It's brutal.
Yeah, it's brutal.
I mean, I would say that it's a skill set that I don't have to be successful on Twitch. Like, I understand how the Twitch audience works and like the kind of content they want, but that's the kind of grind that
you're like
I cannot do.
Yeah. Like, you're very like chill.
Like my social skills come in bursts, I say, and so does my inspiration.
Right.
Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the same with you guys, but either I'm working on like 5 to 10 different projects at once, or I'm like struggling to think of one idea.
Yeah, that's exactly me. It's like either I'm like, man, I got so many fucking good ideas, and I know that when I'm done with these ideas, I'm like, fuck, what do I do next?
I'm screwed.
Which is why I almost like Twitch, because it's like I never have to worry about thinking of an idea. I just turn it on and chat shit or play games, right? Whereas with YouTube, it's like, fuck, I gotta keep one-upping myself. I'm gonna go stale. It's like, how can you go stale if you're just playing games, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there probably is examples of it, but
So like, how long do you, for example, like think you could like keep doing YouTube, or like how long, like, because I think every YouTuber
ride, or you got a plan.
Yeah, is that like, because I think every YouTuber gets asked the question like, oh, where do you see yourself in 5 years, 10 years, like that kind of stuff, right? Which I think is the stupidest question ever.
I guess it's hard to kind of, I guess what feels right, just go with the wind. Like, because I definitely don't feel like doing. I'm trying to like. I have plans to make my channel not just hentai focused anymore. I want to show off some of my other talents. Voice work, maybe if I'm talented, but or just like other things that I'm like that are interesting in the anime sphere. I don't.
Because you've done like a few videos where you like go to bars that have existed.
Yeah, like that are featured in manga. And honestly, I honestly really love those videos. I guess just seeing me out and about,
Yeah, do you feel like you got drawn into just making content about hentai just because you saw how well it was doing? Did you feel pressure about it, or? Of
course I feel pressure about it. Believe it or not, do I always want to make content just about hentai? Of course not.
It just gets the clicks.
It just gets the like. Of course, I enjoy it, and I wouldn't be making anything I think is just for the views, for money.
Who would do that?
Because like,
I never did that at any point in my career.
Here's like a little trade secret that I'm just gonna spill right now. Like, some of Sydney's videos ideas have been ideas that I've pitched to her, because sometimes I get ideas.
Way.
Sometimes I get ideas and I'm like, I can't do this for my channel. But like, I live vicariously through Sydney to be like, yo, Sydney, I can't do this idea for my channel. Can you do it? Can you do me a good one?
Do it.
Yeah. Because I remember the one doujinshi I wanted to like get someone to talk about was Retake. Which, going back to the fan fiction thing I was talking about earlier, like this is the doujinshi that got me into thinking, hey, maybe fan fictions aren't that bad, because this is Retake 2. Retake 2, explain to you, is basically just an entire fucking retelling of the end of Evangelion. Because I remember when I first watched the end of Evangelion as a kid, and I'm talking about the movie as well. It is not a satisfying conclusion if you don't understand what's happening. And especially like, I have a deeper appreciation of End of Eva now as an adult, but as a kid, I'm just like, I just want to see what happens. And then through that, I discovered Retake, and Retake is one of the most satisfying fan fictions I have ever read, where it kind of ties up every loose end that I wanted to be tied up in when I was watching the original Ava, and it gave me the same kind of conclusion and satisfaction within myself that I would have felt even if it was just a canon. Like, in my head, it is kind of just canon.
I watched your video about it.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason why I know it exists.
Yeah.
Because Garth said, and
then I got her to read it.
I mean, like, we actually had to watch Evangelion first, because I never really watched Evangelion probably till recently. And then he showed me Retake, and we shared the exact same opinions on it. Like, so, you know.
That's true love. You fap to this doujin, I fap to this doujin.
We came at the exact same frame.
Soulmates.
Oh my god, you skipped the blowjobs too? Same.
And I'm like, yo, Sydney, why don't you make a video about this?
And I'm like, oh my god, Sydney, why don't you make a video about it?
And so you did.
So I did.
So you're just a gig simp.
I might be, honestly. I'm like his little entertainer, and he's my agent, but we have like a little like sexy relationship. Porn on the way.
You really didn't have to say
What
that.
You're really gonna do me like this, Sydney?
All right.
All I asked was, what are you doing in 5 years? Right, I don't know why I went in that direction.
Porn agents, I'm listening.
How does the Shibuya Cow episode like 10 times more wholesome?
Yeah.
I don't know how she did it. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yeah, is there anything else you want to mention or anything else you want to talk about?
What the? That's a.
Anything you want me to pretend to like ask you about so we can make it perfect into a story you want to tell?
Just ask like, what jobs did I have previous?
What jobs did you have previously, Sydney? I'm curious.
Fuck you.
McDonald's, cool, thank you.
I don't know if you're actually asking. Okay.
I am.
Yeah,
What
we're
jobs did
actually
you have
asking.
previously?
Okay. Well, when I was in high school, my first job was at a frozen yogurt place, and then I moved to England, and I
That is
worked.
the whitest thing you've ever said.
Is that it? You're not going to elaborate more on the frozen yogurt story?
It wasn't a very long.
Did anything happen? How long were you there for?
4 or 5 months,
And nothing interesting
And then I
happened?
graduated high school, and then I started working at a bakery at a supermarket. No,
Wait.
wait, and then before I graduated high school, supermarket bakery, and then I moved to England, and I started working at Weatherspoons. Worst job I've ever had. I hated it. It's if you guys don't know what Weatherspoons is, it's this cheap. I think you guys
Yeah, I
mentioned
think
it.
Yeah, we
Mention
mentioned it.
The old people there would start at like 8 a.m.
Oh,
They'd always come in
oh.
with like the first thing they'd always order is shots of like whiskey or vodka, and they
Bro,
just keep going.
Old British people are like, I don't know what's wrong, man. They always go to the pub at like 9 a.m.
Yeah,
to meet up with their other
always.
old friends, and they just get drunk.
Always.
And that's all they do.
And they
every
were
week.
mean. They were mean. They'd always be like,
Oh, yeah.
they'd be like, you shouldn't be in our country. You're not like. They were pretty mean.
Yeah,
And
I hate
I'd
old
be
people.
screamed.
Yeah.
I'd be screamed at every day. And it's like sometimes I'd cry and they'd be like, oh, now you're just trying to make me feel bad. And I'm just like, you just told me to like you. Just call me a bitch. Like, I just gave you
It's
a
like,
beer.
yes, you should feel bad.
Yeah.
And it's like sometimes I'd pour a beer or like not because I didn't really like know how to pour beer. I
Oh
was still
yeah,
learning.
pouring a pint is a very strict
Yeah.
procedure.
Yeah.
in the
And they
UK.
just like, you dumb bitch. And I'd be like,
They would an old British man would call you a dumb bitch. No way, I
he
refuse to
definitely
believe
called me a bitch. Like they
a bitch. I see it, but a dumb bitch.
No,
that
they
doesn't
be
sound like a,
It's like,
Bitch, I can see, but dumb bitch,
Nah.
that's too far.
That happened.
yeah. And then just like sometimes I actually when we moved to Thailand, I did.
That was when you kind of tried to dip your dip your foot into like a lot of things.
Yeah, I tried like a lot.
Do you want to talk about that time where you were an English teacher?
You're an English teacher in
I
Thailand?
was an English teacher in
Oh my
Thailand.
God.
So Garn's family had like a friend, and I would like it was allowed in the country for like me to like kind of help with like because it's all right. I wasn't being illegal,
Yeah.
stealing Thai people's money, but I was an English teacher for children from the ages of 1 to 4.
Right.
And
So
then-
you're basically a daycare.
that basically sounds like daycare.
Yeah, like I would just like kind of did that. Is a bit exhausting, but
I remember the very first English teaching job she had. So to preface, Sydney loves dogs. Like,
oh my god,
like whenever she sees a dog, like you can hear it in her voice because like her the pitch in her voice.
She
just
reaches a
show-
frequency that only dogs can hear. You know, like,
it's like
it's like a dog whistle.
Yeah, exactly. It's like she like her voice goes into like dog whistle territory.
Yeah.
And I remember the first day on the job, she was like dreading it, and I remember I had to drive her to this house where she had to tutor these
'cause I was
kids.
a private tutor,
Yeah.
and for like kids that were like age 7 and 8.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to go to like these strangers' house. What if they like rape and kill me? And I was like, but it's also 8 a.m. and I don't want to go.
Yeah, so she was like complaining the entire way there to be like, maybe I should quit now. I'm just gonna quit. Like I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna look the person in the eye, and I'm gonna be like, you know what, this job's not for me. And so we pull up to this house, and it's like a gated house with like a patio on it, and there are just these puppies.
Puppies, they were just born. Like, oh my god, a week old.
There were just these puppies just sitting in this patio.
And the moment Sydney looked at them, all of the windows in the neighborhood shattered.
And she was like, those are puppies right there. And then a woman comes out and was like, oh, are you the teacher?
I didn't know that was the house. And she was like, I'm like,
I love this story.
like, give me those puppies. There's a 10 of them. And I was like, give me the baby.
You're just teaching English while you're holding like 4 puppies.
Oh my god, those were the
Why?
like, why are you
Puppy.
so give me the puppy. That's your English.
And I'd never seen Sydney like just get out of the car as fast as I had, as she had just realized this was the house that she was about to teach in.
They're so fucking small. And then obviously I hated English teaching. Probably not the best at it. Like
I didn't think your English was that good to begin with.
What the fuck's that meant to me? Just because I say words like baby bit or small or like
Eye penetration. Repeat after me.
Because like, okay, like going back to your weeb phase, one thing I am kind of jealous of now that like living in Japan is that you have like no fear when it comes to attempting Japanese or like trying Japanese and everything like that.
be like, oh, chin chin. Do you hear me?
Not that, but like you have like no fear when it comes to like attempting your Japanese. And there have been times when like before we moved to Japan, because I remember you were telling me the story about when I had my signing at Bookwalker at AX, and you actually met one of the authors there.
I don't think there was the Don Machi author though. I think I was it the one? It was like the second time I met you. It was my older brother.
It might have been Monster
It
Musume.
might
Might have been
been.
Monster Musume.
Yeah, it might have been
Okay.
Okayada
Okay,
Sensei.
I didn't honestly, because I know you introduced. I was like a bit drunk because we were day drinking.
Do you want to explain the story?
So I was at an anime con with my Oni-chan, my brother, at AX.
You could have just said brother.
I'm out. I'm a head out.
And like all of us, like we went with a group, like with Gart and our friends, some of our friends from England, and my brother wanted to come because he likes going to anime cons as well. And I'm really close with my brother, so he came with us to AX, and we were like day drinking a bit, you know, as you can.
As you do it.
As you do at,
it.
especially at AX.
Yeah.
And then, but Gart had
You got it to get through those lines.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I got another story after this, but yeah, keep going.
And Gart had a signing at Bookwalker not long after, and I was like about 4 or 5 beers deep, and that might as well be lethal at that point.
It's like 10 a.m.
It was like 4 p.m. Okay, but and so I went in the back behind the Bookwalker signing thing, and
I was having my signing.
yeah, but someone else just finished their signing, and I was with my brother, and I was a bit drunk, you know, I'm not gonna lie, and so Maylin, obviously, which you guys obviously remember from previous episodes, was there, and she's like, oh, do you want to meet this guy's name who I don't even remember? And I'm just like, sure, but I was pretty obviously drunk. And I shook his hand, and so it's like, and I started speaking my shitty Japanese. I was just like, konnichiwa, hajimemashite, watashi no oni-chan desu. And Maylin just like stood there, just like, and this guy's like, all right. And then later did I find out that was the author of Monster Musume.
Oh my god.
I also have another story.
All right, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I just want to say this is actually the coolest one. And I need to. Okay. So we were at the Funimation party and, at AX 2017, 18. And I think it was 18. And,
it was like 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah. So we were drinking in it, and I obviously had to go to the bathroom, and they only had one bathroom in the place.
This was the Funimation party.
Yeah,
I don't know if you
Funimation
mentioned.
party. I did mention that.
Okay, sorry.
So I went in, and then I see this guy just laying on the fucking floor in there, and I'm just like, I kind of get up, and I wake him up.
So was he in like the women's toilet?
There was only one toilet.
Oh, okay.
And
so it's like
he was just like face down. I thought he was dead. Like I thought like he overdrank or he was like dead or something, because he was face down in the middle of the toilet and he wasn't moving. And I kept waking him up. And then I kind of like kept shaking him, and then he's just like, I realized because he started speaking Japanese, he's a Japanese guy, right?
Yeah.
And then I was just like,
normally.
and then he's just like in the most like really broken English. He's like, I'm one of the animators for Boku no Hero. I'm like, can you get the fuck out of the bathroom? Like,
I don't care who you are. I need a piss.
I know. And he's just like, when can I see you again? I'm like, who the fuck are you? He's like,
He just told you he's the animator for Boku no Hero.
because the guests are like some of the animators from Boku no Hero were there, and he's just like there. He's like, I'm like, are you okay? Like, can you just get out? I had to take a piss, dude. And he's just like, can I see you again? I'm like, just get the fuck out.
I'm trying to take a shit. Man.
But he was like, I felt bad because he's like obviously really wasted. And just
Hey
on the
man, we
floor.
all have it. We all have
Yeah,
it.
all
we've
those
all
days.
been there. We've all been there.
Yeah, that was.
Some more than once.
So yeah, I think we've told enough stories for a lifetime. Is there anything you want to like shout out? I guess on your side of things, because you
Sydsnap YouTube.
are technically a guest on the show.
Yeah,
So,
even though we see each other like every day.
Yeah.
or
Promote all
whatever.
your fucking
promote
links.
promote your shit.
Please subscribe to Sydsnap and
What a marketing genius! Thank you. But yeah, if you want to check out Sydney's stuff, her stuff is in the description.
Check the link in the description. I'll shout it out for you. You can check out Sydney at youtube.com/Sydsnap, twitter.com/Sydsnap, and
man having to do it.
stop trying to mansplain. Check out the description, you fucker.
Yeah, it's all in the description. Hey, but also thank you to our patrons for supporting the show. As always, look at all these lovely names.
look at all these lovely
my
names.
God.
Beautiful
I love them.
names.
Yeah.
I love them so much.
I'd watch hentai of this guy.
Of course, I watch hentai with all-
This guy enjoys the plot. I know he does.
I watch
This-
hentai with
He
all
knows
these guys. But if you'd like to support the show, then as always, go to patreon.com/trashtaste.
Yes, to have your names come on the screen.
Exactly, and help us create some more cool content.
Hell
Also,
yeah.
make sure to check out our Twitter and subreddit, as always. That is also in the description below. And hey, you're probably wondering about the shirts that we're all wearing.
Yes, we did mention this last time, but this is your last week to get it. You can click in the link description or go to Joey. I forgot the URL.
It's
Please take over for me.
barcarosa.co/trashtaste.
Buy it now, they won't be here again. So
Yes.
get it now while you still can.
By
God
the
damn it.
time the next episode comes out, these shirts will be unavailable and they're probably not going to come back. So if
Yes.
you'd like to grab them, limited
Go.
edition stuff, go down to the
First
description.
edition trash taste shirts.
First edition Trash Taste. Go check it out.
Again,
Yeah.
thank you very much, Sydney, for joining us today.
You're so bloody welcome.
Oh my god.
All right.
Bye.
Okay, that's the end.
She's
Bye.
never coming back.
Bye.
Don't worry.